20-something years in the industry, and anybody who knows me or works with me knows that I have an incredible passion for first-time home buyers. I spent several years as a top producing realtor, and then partly went and used my experience and contracted to Freddie Mac for 2 years. I saw what really bad loans do to good people. Some people flat out didn't pay their bills, don't get me wrong, but there were some people set up for failure. And I took all my experience and went, I belong in mortgage. And I belong in mortgage for 2 reasons. If you do not understand the power of real estate, I want to show you how. If you don't understand the emotional and physical well-being of having homes and generational wealth, I want to show you how that works. Having somewhere to go is emotionally, mentally, everything. So with that being said, well, I know we'll get into all those products later, that's why I'm here. Understanding what real estate can do for you is why I do what I do every day. It's not pretty look today, so forgive me, but I'm here. The market update. I just want to know by show of hands, how many of y'all think that interest rates are going to drop 0.2 points and it's going to get better here? I've got some realists in here. All right. Yes.
I do.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not saying wishing, I'm saying reality. Everything on the market is, well, when the Fed drops a point, everything drops. Folks, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, when the Feds drop it, most likely my bank and every other bank has already buffered for that reduction. So it's not going to be instant. So what we need to talk about in the market is the mortgage interest rate is a small part of it. Having a realtor and a team around you watching the market you're looking at is what matters. The interest rate is a small part of the market update. Housing prices in the DFW area are semi-flatlining because we're coming back to something more normal, but we're still appreciating here. I tell you that because my market update for you is interest rates are not going to drop drastically. That's going to offset the fact that our houses are appreciating. You're following me? A half-point interest rate reduction is not going to change the fact that the houses in the areas you're looking at are appreciating 2 to 3% a year. Okay? So the more, yes, you're able to afford more house, but guess what? That house you looked at last year, it's about 30 grand more. That's just the way it works here. We are fortunate we have an environment, and in 10 years you'll go, Aaron, I have equity, I have money I can pull on if times get hard. This is a good thing. But you have to start. And you have to start somewhere. And that's frightening, it's scary, and I get that. But there's 2 things that are not gonna happen that I wanna get across to everybody. My market update is interest rates will come down. Nobody record that, put that on. Aaron James said they will go down. No, they've already gone down a little bit. We're going to see a little bit of a rally because of the job reports and some things that came out this last week. Let me watch those. Let your professional people in the real estate industry watch those because they are mind-numbingly boring. But we listen to them because it helps me get an idea on where it's going to happen. They already go down a little bit, but housing pricing is going up. The good news is the programs to help get into housing and affordability are increasing as well. And that's the exciting part of the market update. It's not going to get times better. Prices are not going to drop. I got a newsflash, there is no housing crash. Everybody hear me? There is not going to be a housing crash. You can probably relate to that too, Gerard. Yeah, we're not going to see a housing crash. This is our market. This is where we're at. So take in everything today and let us know how we can help because there's a lot of good stuff. I saw the agenda for today, so it's going to be great stuff. And know that just get the information and start at square one because there's stuff out there to get you those homes.
Appreciate you, Aaron, for that information. I think what I took mostly from that is stop waiting, get off the sidelines, as T. Will say, get in the game. So up next, we have Mr. Damon Cliff Scales, who's going to talk about why real estate and why should you even consider investing in real estate.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Give me 1 second here, sorry. So I want to talk to you a little bit about real estate and how we can leverage that to make our lives better for ourselves and our family. We have existing homeowners in here already? Anybody in here already own a home? Investment properties? Okay, excellent. Okay, well, so I'm not going to be up here too long, but I wanted to introduce myself. Again, my name is Damon Klingsdales. I'm with Hometown Lending. I am a broker. So basically what that means is I'm not tied to any one bank or any one program or any one anything. I leverage about 150 different lending houses called wholesale lenders to tailor a loan to fit your particular situation. So I've been in the industry since 2017, that's wrong, since 19. I have an insurance and fitness background, and this is my family and this is my why. This is why I do this. My wife Ashley and I, we bought our house in 2017. I got in the business shortly right after that because there's nothing like that feeling of being able to have a home for my family. Fortunately, I learned this from my parents. My father is a retired deputy sheriff in LA. My mother is a retired nurse practitioner. But they both come from nothing. So they worked, they educated us on how to get to the next level. So they gave us 2 steps up, so it's my responsibility to get my kids 3 steps up, right? That's kind of how it works. And that's what I want to talk to you about, building that generational wealth. And you can do that partially through real estate. I can use myself in that example. We bought our house in 2016. We bought it right in Frisco, and it cost me less than $300,000. I looked this morning, I can sell my house for $590 now. So it's doubled in price in just what, 8 years? Not only does now I have that equity, but I also have my daughter Jaden, she's 22. She's a college student. She goes to University of California, Riverside in California. She was born here, we live here. That means Dad has to pay out-of-state tuition fees, which are just, makes you want to punch a baby. Like, it is horrible. I grew up in California, right? My parents lived in California. I paid taxes in California for 20-some years. Well, I didn't. My parents did. But I still got to pay these out-of-state taxes, right? Or out-of-state tuition. I was able to do that because I could leverage that money, that equity in my house. Okay? One of the things that really holds people back from purchasing a home is they say 2 things. Rates are too high, houses cost too much. Okay? Rates are too high, houses cost too much. Well, think about this. Mortgage money is the cheapest money you can get from anywhere. If you take a look, or if you even take a look at your Credit Karma or even your anything, your auto loan, in 2025, this is right now, the average auto loan is open. Even if you have excellent credit, it's 9%. For your car, for your $60,000 car, you're gonna pay a 9% interest rate if you have excellent credit. Most of us are probably around this 600 to 699, so we're paying almost 15% interest on your car, right? That's 60, 70, maybe $100,000, and it's costing you 15% interest rate. Credit cards are even worse. Credit cards are around 24%. So that $10,000 credit card you got, you're gonna pay 20-some-odd% interest rate on that if you're not paying it off every month. Conversely, mortgage rates are around 7.25%, sometimes it's between 7 and 8 right now. For $400,000, $300,000, $200,000. Anybody know where else you can get $400,000 for 7 or 8% interest rate? Nobody, right? It's not possible. It's still the cheapest money that you can get, okay? Not to mention the fact that, my example, I bought my house, it's generated me more money than I would have done if I was just working and saving. There's no way I could have saved $200,000 in 8 years. I don't make that kind of money. And I don't know very many people who do. $200,000, it's a lot of money, right? But I have that money now because we took the time to invest in ourselves. Now my kids have a place, play in the backyard, and they love their school and everything, right? My goal is to help you create that generational wealth for your family. It's not the only way to create generational wealth, but if you do any research on the richest families in this country, I can about 99% guarantee you that that money came from real estate originally. The Waltons, they own Walmart. Their patriarch borrowed money from his father-in-law to basically start Walmart. Where did his father-in-law get that money? He had a whole bunch of acreage. The one thing in this world, well, one of the things in this world that we can't make more of is land. We can make more of just about anything else, right? We can cut down trees for more wood, we can grow more trees. We've learned how to make water from rain and from clouds in the sky. We've learned how to make a whole bunch of things, but we can't make more land. So that land that you buy is yours. That land is only going to increase in value. Think about California. Not the wildfires, but California. People always say, California real estate is so expensive, so expensive. Well, here's why. If you look at California, there's a huge mountain range on the east and an ocean on the west. That means a little strip of land is actually inhabitable, right? You can build on it. That's why that house in Inglewood that 30 years ago you could get for $200,000, now it's worth $1.something million, because that land is that land. You can't make more of it, so there's nowhere else to go. So what you have, even my house in Frisco, the land is mine, okay? The house can come and go. It can burn down, it can be knocked down, but that land, as long as I still make the payments on it, right? Until I completely pay the loan off, technically the bank owns it, but it's mine, as long as I keep making my payments. So I'm able to take that land and leverage it for the other opportunities, right? Fortunately, it didn't put us in debt. Well, it did, but not super debt. We didn't have to go bankrupt. My daughter didn't have to take out a whole bunch of student loans and things like that. So that only helped her when she graduates. She's not weighted down with $100,000, $200,000 worth of student loan debt. She's gonna have some debt because I believe you gotta have a little bit. You gotta have some skin in the game, right? So we're gonna take that, her education, her low student loan rate, and we're gonna educate her on how to get those things paid and how to propel herself to the next level. This real estate game is, I mean, honestly, it's a bit of a game, right? And it's a bit of it can be a bit of a gamble if you don't know what you're doing, right? If you don't leverage the right resources. People like myself and Aaron, we do lending all day, every day, and we've seen every scenario you can possibly think of, okay? I've seen people with 800 credit scores and no money. I've seen people with $50,000 in the bank with a 500 credit score. And I've seen everything in between. There is a way for everyone to purchase a home. It just takes work on your part and our part to fit you in that category. So this weekend, we're celebrating Martin Luther King, right? Great American hero. I just want to kind of share with you a couple of things. As a community, we're still far behind everyone else when it comes to homeownership. Far behind. There's a number of factors for that, but it is 2025 now, right? The information is out there for everyone, okay? The way to do it is out there for everyone, and we can help just about anyone. Let me not even say that. We can help everyone. It might take a little bit more time for some than others, but we can help everyone. You can purchase a home. Even if you already own a home and you're thinking about an investment property, there are tons of ways to do that too without using your money. Really important. I believe in capital preservation. Okay? Your money should make money for you. Your money should be sitting in your mattress. And if you have $50,000 in the bank, $50,000 should not go to a home. It doesn't work out financially better for you in the long run. Wealthy people don't use their own money. They don't. I have a couple of clients who are NFL players. How it works is they have their millions, they set them at JP Morgan or Wells Fargo or whatever. When they go to buy their house, they don't take the money they just got from their NFL contract and go buy that house. That doesn't make any sense. That money sits in the bank, it accrues interest for them. JP Morgan or Wells Fargo or whoever they are lets them leverage that money. So not taking any out of the bank, but they let them leverage that money to buy that $4 million house. So not only do they increase their, not only is their money making money for them, but they're also increasing their net worth through that real estate property. Important for us to think about how we're going to get to the next level, right? This stat of home ownership in the United States, this is from 2023, you see as a Black community, about 45%. That is one of the lowest since before segregation. Before segregation ended. The wealth gap has just grown. And it's up to us to shorten that gap. I was talking to this gentleman here earlier. He's got investment properties. He learned how to do those investment properties with a partner pretty much on their own, right? And he understands now kind of how things work. But he also understands, what do we talk about? I don't want to use my money. The money is out there for you. The programs are out there for you. The information is out there for you. Please leverage some of us to help you get there. I'm very passionate about closing that gap. There's no reason, there's no tangible reason that it has to continue this way. Okay, we're educated. We know that owning a home is a step to creating that generational wealth, right? Did any of us, who in here, whose parents owned a home? Okay, so not through direct maybe, but you learned that owning a home is kind of like, it's what you're supposed to do, right? You kind of just, for me, for instance, I just learned that. Like my parents, I didn't know college was an option until I started applying for college, right? I thought junior high, high school, college, that's just the way it goes. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how it goes. I didn't know that I didn't have to go to college if I didn't want to. But that mindset that my parents instilled in me said, you need to take these steps to get to where you want to go. It's the same thing in real estate, right? You don't have to own a home. But if you want I won't say easier, because it may not be easier, but if you want a less resistance path to help building that generational wealth, real estate is one of the best ways to go. Your house is going to appreciate, especially here in Texas. Like Aaron said, it's about 2 or 3% a year. Your house goes up. So, for instance, my first house I bought when I moved here to Texas. So I'm from Southern California again. I moved here in 2005. I bought my first house in Red Oak. It cost me $110,000. I was ecstatic because it came from LA, where my rent in my 650 square foot apartment was almost $1,000. I came here, I bought a house in 6 months, and my mortgage, and it was a 1,300 square foot house, new starter home. My mortgage was less than my rent in California. That house, I still have that house in the portfolio today, and that house is worth about $350,000. So you can see how real estate will increase your net worth, which allows you to do so many more things, right? I want us to really think about making ourselves better, putting our families in a better position to do things and close this wealth gap. It's possible. It's just going to take a little bit of work for all of us, right? So those of us who have existing homes already, we're thinking about, well, how do I increase that? How do I add to my portfolio, right? There are a lot of communities around here, a lot of communities that still welcome investors. There are 100 different ways to get an investment property. What I would tell you, one thing is, don't use your own money. Please. If your money is sitting in the bank, even at a regular savings account, you're probably making about maybe 2% year over year, right? You want that money to keep making that money. Mortgage rates, sure, they're a bit high, but I always tell people this. You marry the house and you date the rate. You can change the rate literally whenever you want to. It might cost you something to lower your rate, maybe, but you're not married to the rate. So when you see that rate, you talk to me or Aaron and say, okay, well, market rates today is 7.5. I'm like, oh, 7.5? That's a high rate. Relative to what though, right? Again, your car is going to cost you about double that in rate. Your credit cards are going to cost you like triple that in rate. And those two things, your car and your credit cards, don't offer you any type of value. When you drive your car off the lot, what happens? Does it ever appreciate? Unless you have a classic car and you put a bunch of money into it to restore it and never drive it, it's not going to bring you any cash. It's going to cost you more than it's going to bring you, but the exact opposite is in a home. It's going to bring you cash. It might be 3 years. It might be 5 years. In this market, it's like 4 months, but it's going to bring you cash. So it's now an asset and not a liability. Cars and credit cards are liabilities. They only cost you, period. The only thing you're going to get from a credit card is airline points and stuff like that. The only thing you're going to get from your car is more problems. Driving, maintenance and all that is going to cost you more. So think about where you're putting your money and how you're making your money work for you. So that's about all I have for now. I'm happy to answer any questions, but I think next we have coming up Terrence, Superman T is going to talk to you about how we can get a lot of stuff done and how your credit profile needs to be and what we can do to improve your credit score and overall picture. So thanks very much for your time. I appreciate you all.
Appreciate your name. And while Terrence comes up, I want to talk about something that Damon was about equity. I had a similar story. I bought out in the same area. In 2013, I bought the house for $250, and I looked 2 days ago. It's worth around 604, 605 right now. So the equity thing is real, and how you can leverage it to what you talked about, pay for college, just a number of things. So. Well, let's get ready. Anybody have any questions so far, or comments, or anything you want to ask? This one got time. He's ready.
Hey, man.
Superman T. Williams.
I appreciate it. Thanks, G. G Money is what I call him. But
You got no money.
hello, everyone. Hey, give it up again for them speakers because man, they just gave y'all some valuable information. I mean, I'm telling you, everything they said, if you just write it down, you're gonna miss it. But again, I'm Terrence Williams. I'm the owner and broker of Island Vision Realty. I do commercial and residential real estate. I'm an Air Force veteran, I'm a credit advisor and a real estate investor. By show of hands, how many in here know their credit score right out the bat? Wait, let me see, everybody got their hands high? So there's 1, 2. Oh, come on, we got to have more than 8. All right, well, after this, we're gonna fix that. But credit is like one of those things, I mean, it's very vital, very, very critical in today's environment. You need credit for everything. Now, there's a caveat to it though. I tell people, if you're not gonna be disciplined and committed to credit, don't use it. Because you can make things way far worse than often what they are right now. If you don't know how to use credit, you can mess your life up. I'm talking about seriously. I'm pretty sure we all know somebody that has messed up their credit and had a hard time getting back on track. But it's not impossible. It's just, you gotta be committed and disciplined to doing the things to get your credit back where it needs to be. I'll give y'all a story of how I became passionate. And I really didn't understand when it first started out, but how I became passionate about credit is I joined the military late in the 90s, the Air Force, and I didn't have a vehicle and I was at the base. I went to go and get a loan for like $5,000. Back then, you had to walk into the banks. You couldn't do this online stuff. You had to walk in there and apply. They denied me credit and told me I needed a cosign. I'm like, I don't even, who I know can cosign for me? And I'm talking about, y'all, we just talking about $5,000, right? Couldn't even get a $5,000 loan. So me, I'm always thinking, if you tell me no, I'm gonna figure something. We're gonna try to get around it. So I told the lady when she denied me at the credit union, I said, hey, let me talk to the bank president or somebody, supervisor. I need to talk to somebody because I know I done read a little something about how banks circulate our money and they use our money. And I had like $2,500 in my account. So I'm thinking it's gotta be worth something. I'm not really knowing though, but I'm just thinking this. So just so happened the bank president was in the bank that day. He came out, Mr. Williams, how can we help you? I said, well, sir, I just got denied credit and I don't really, no, I don't understand this. I'm in the military. I thought you're in the military, you can get whatever you want. That ain't the case. And I did, before I got in the military, I did have some of my credit, but I paid it out. It went in the collection, I paid it out. Still go by credit, how it worked, anything like that, I just paid it out. He said, let's look at your credit. Let's look at your application and see, what's going on with you. So you were denied because you don't have credit. I was like, I don't know, something just came over me and just said, okay, sir, well, because I'm thinking about what I read about banks. I said, well, if that's the case, sir, I'm gonna have to take my money out of this bank. I'm gonna close my account. I'm gonna take my little $2,500 and I'm gonna go somewhere else and do business with somebody who wants to do business. He said, oh, well, let me look back at your credit. Let me see what I can do for you. I said, okay, because I was prepared to just close my account right off the bat and go somewhere else. He came back and he said, well, Mr. Williams, what we're gonna do, we're gonna give you this $5,000, but if you mess this up, you'll never get a loan again. And right here, I want to act up on me.
Freeze up.
Thanks so much. Okay. That right there is the kindergarten credit journey. That card you see right there, that's my first card. That's what I went and did to it. That's my son. After I got that one loan, I paid it off in a year. I went and got that motorcycle. And I started learning how credit works and how I was able to leverage credit by going to the banks, getting approved first, walking up to the dealerships like I had cash. I was going up there like I really had cash, telling these folks, but I would go get a check. A lot of people don't know that. Like when you like how you leverage credit, you go get approved first, because now you can go to the dealerships and you can talk. Hey, I got money. They don't know what you got. You know what I'm saying? You just going up there telling them what you want. And I always say this: whenever you go and do something, if you're desperate about it, you will lose. That's one thing I know to be a fact. You will lose. In my mindset, I'm always thinking, if I go get something, I know what I'm gonna pay. I know what my turn's gonna be. If they're not that, I'm prepared to walk. So that's always in my mind right there. So I always, when you go out there and you're dealing with credit, always remember that. Don't let nobody talk you into doing nothing you don't want to do. But I was able to go get many vehicles after this, and it was all because what I started on this credit journey, I didn't even realize what I was doing until later on in my life, how this would affect my life later on. So that was just some of the things that, helped me out in the beginning of my credit journey. Here you see are the credit scoring models. You have the FICO, which is the Fair Isaac Corporation, which was created in 1989, and it has the scores ranging from 300 to 850. The FICO score is the most widely used model, the credit model. The lenders use it. So whenever you go apply for loans and stuff, they're most likely going to use the FICO scoring model. You have the Vintage scoring model as well, but it's not as widely used and popular as the FICO scoring model. They use it on like Credit Karma, Credit Wise, and stuff like that. And I tell my clients to stay away from those because the numbers will always be out. If you want true credit numbers, you need to go to the bureau. That's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Or you can use FICO. Those are going to get you your best scores. And even when you go to the lenders, they use a different scoring model. So when you go to the lender, your scoring models, if you see something that says it's like 750, your scores for the lender might be 700 or 705 or something like that. So you just have to take that in consideration when you go into, get mortgages and stuff like that. Those numbers you see are going to be different when you go get a mortgage. So here are the versions of the FICO scoring models. You can see by Experian here, the widely used versions is pretty much 9 and 8. The auto loan is pretty much all of them. All of the bureaus use all of those scoring models. You got your credit cards, they use 8, 9, 8, 5. You got your mortgages, they use 2, 5, and 4. So, it's good to know this stuff where they're pulling this information and data from. So then you have the foundations of credit. Like, what is credit? I say it's more than just a number. It's the foundation of modern financial systems, shaping the way that individuals, businesses, and economies operate. Credit is the ability to borrow money or access goods and services with the promise that you will repay back borrowed funding. You don't go get credit and don't pay it back. I tell you, this is like the worst thing I've seen with people. This is why credit repair and credit restoration exists. Because, in people's mindset, if they can fix it one time, guess what? They can do it again. Instead of them saying, look, when I fix my credit, I'm not gonna go back to that again. And here are the things and the tools that I'm gonna put in place to make sure I don't go back there. So this is just, it's really a mindset. Just like any other thing else, it's a mindset. And then you have the five C's of credit, which are character, which is gonna be your credit history. You have capacity, which is gonna be your DTI, which is your debt to income. You have capital, which is going to be your money, your funding. Your collateral, which is your assets, what you have. That's considered an asset. The conditions, what is the purpose of the loan, whatever you're buying for. So those are kind of like the 5 C's, what you're being graded on when you go looking for credit. There's 2 elements that's based off of this. That's your credit score and your credit report. Your credit score is that numerical representation of your credit worthiness. How is your credit history? How have you paid your credit? Have you had lates? Have you had collections? They look at this stuff and they look at it in depth. So, just make sure you're keeping that stuff straight. Your credit report is just a detailed report. It's just a detailed record of, your history, your payment habits, your debts, your inquiries. So all this stuff is listed on your credit report. And if y'all looked at a credit report, y'all will know all of this stuff is on there. What credit allows you to do, y'all, it gives you so much, leverage. I've been able to buy properties, land, vehicles, you name it. As long as you got a good credit score and a good credit history, your credit worthiness is just, up there. You can walk in anywhere. I can tell you this, it really shocked me. About a year and a half ago, I went and bought a car. I went out here to the dealership and I bought a car. I walked in and it was just so amazing. It just intrigued me because I had walked in the dealership for probably about 5 years. I walked in there and I didn't do nothing but show my credit score. That's the first thing I do when I talk to people. I show my credit score. And I showed the dude and he was like, I seen him look and he was like, and he did that, a second look, like he did that second take and I knew it was something. And he said, well, man, come on in, what you want? And I said, man, I want that car right there. And he said, well, how you gonna pay for it? And I said, well, you seen my credit score. I said, what can you do for me? He was like, well, let us run your credit and make sure that's what it is. And I said, well, go ahead and do what you need to do. I said, but I'm gonna tell you like this, if I can't get that car for this price for and this interest rate, because I said I'm gonna put a significant amount down. If I can't get it at this price and this interest rate, I'm prepared to walk out this door. I told him that before he even ran everything. He came back. I mean, this is the fastest I've ever been in any car dealership in my life. I was there 45 minutes, walked out with the car and everything. I was like, damn, so this really is power with this. So, long story short, got that car, walked out. The folks, they were so discombobulated by my credit score, they shredded my check. They said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. We usually deal with like ball players and stuff that have a lot of money. They come here and buy cash, but a lot of people don't come here with a credit score like. And he was like, I'm not trying to be racist or nothing like that, but we don't get a lot of black people coming here with high credit scores like that. I was like, look, man, you already said what you said. It don't even matter. I came here to get what I wanted, and I'll leave. So, but that just kind of blown me away, you know, just going through that, just knowing that what credit could do with me. I kind of had a feeling, but just going through that situation now, man, it was eye-opening. Understanding your credit report. You have your personal information on there, your account information, you got public records, inquiries, hard inquiries, and soft inquiries. Now, I do know this. If you go, because I do it all the time. If you go online and you like dispute any information, this is why you need to have some type of credit line. Because if you dispute your information, it depends. Like it can raise your score like anywhere from like 3 to 10 points. And what you can dispute online is like your address, phone numbers. You know, every time you go apply for credit, those creditors might input an erroneous name, like your name might be spelled wrong, your address might be wrong, your phone number might be wrong. So this is why you need to consistently check your credit report, because these inconsistencies can hurt your report. If you go online, you can do a dispute online. I know Experian you can. Experian, you can do so too. They got a little bit of different process, but they'll come right back. And if you call in, like if you got any erroneous name, like usually you'll have probably about 4. I bet if you look on your credit report right now, you got about 4 or 5 different names on there. That stuff needs to be cleaned up. I'm telling you, it makes a difference, because your credit report is almost like your resume when you apply for a job. They're looking at this stuff. They're looking at this information. And if I got Terrence Williams, Terrence spelled with an E, Terrence spelled with an A, Terrence spelled with an I, all of those make a difference. Because when they go to pull my report, they're gonna think, well, why do he have all these different names, these aliases? So it's always good to clean up your credit report, and that's what you do. You have to call in to do like your name and your date of birth and employment history. You can that's another one you can do. Your employment history, because they put that on your credit report as well. So you can call in, have them change that stuff, and in 24 hours they'll have it changed. Here's some common myths about credit. Your income affects your credit score. The fact is that it's based on your credit behavior. It's really not your income. But when you apply for a loan, yes, it is, because that determines your DTI and stuff like that. Carrying a balance to boost your score is another myth that they got out there that people be talking about. But I always say if you pay off your balances in full every month, that's good. And I'm gonna get a little bit deeper down into the slides on this, what I'm about to say, but it's good to break up those payments, because Down in these slides, you're gonna see the percentage of the graph of how credit is broken down to get you 100%. If you break those payments up, it does something to your numbers. It increases your numbers and increase your payment history as well. This is my report right here. This is my credit report information. So you see up here where it says 90, at one time I had about 5, 6 names on there. Right now, that's how you see it. It's one name. I don't need all those different aliases and stuff like that, because like I said, when they looking at it, it's like they're looking at the resume of you. Your credit report is a representation of you. So this is why it needs to be cleaned up. All the addresses and stuff. I have way more addresses in this, but as long as these are not attached to a debt or anything like that, you can have them removed. I really had about 15 of these addresses on it, because over your lifetime, you don't move different places. So you're gonna have a lot of addresses on there. But whatever you don't want on there, you can tell them to move. I never lived there before. And so these are the only 3 addresses I want to show up on my credit report. And I can have some of these removed, besides my current address. My employment history, I can have them removed. They had an erroneous a broker that I used to work for, but it wasn't spelled right. I had them removed. And I had them to do all this last year. I also got a security alert on my credit, which is down here at the bottom. As you can see, it's down there. I don't know if you can read that, but every time I get credit, they gotta call me. They gotta verify that it's me that's applying for the credit. And you can put that credit alert on your credit with the bureaus. Like anytime somebody have to go, anytime somebody applies for credit with your social security, they have to contact you. They have to. If you put this alert on your credit, all you gotta do is call them and tell them you want to put that alert on there. That way you don't want, to be a victim of identity theft. This is what you do. You call them and tell them you want to put that alert on there. So if anybody runs your credit, they can't run it without contacting you first.
Is that free to do?
That's free to do. That's free. All you gotta do is call the bureau. Any one of them, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, call them and tell them they'll put it on there, and they'll have to notify you first.
Is there anything you have to do besides just call? Did you have to provide any information?
No, if you call them and tell them you want to put that alert on there, you can do it online as well, but to me, calling is better because I'm talking to someone and I'm telling them I need to put that alert on there. And then they'll email you when you call and stuff like that. So you have a record. Always, when you call the bureaus and you talk to them people, I always ask for their name. Sometimes they won't even give it to me, but I always ask for their name. I document what time I called, who I talked to, what it was about, because I'm telling you, documentation is important. You want to always, because if they ever come back and ask you, well, you didn't ever call. Oh, yes, I did. I called such at 4:30. I talked to him about this. I talked to him about 15 minutes. Boom. So you got to have proof and documentation that, you did all this stuff. If it ever comes up, I just like to document everything. I'm a big document. So, but here are the types of credit. You got revolving credit, which are credit cards, lines of credit. You got installment credit, which are mortgages, auto loans, and student loans. You have open credit, which is like utility bills and charge cards. It's kind of depending on, the mix of credit and stuff that you're getting into. I mean, just understand the type of credit you get into, because really you can use all of them to help you, but just don't be going out here applying for anything. Here's a true story. I hit a milestone in credit, and Gino, I sent him a text, said, man, I can't believe this. Like, who in here by raise their hands know somebody with a credit score of 850, or you have actually seen them?
I know you.
I know somebody.
But I'm telling you, that was a milestone for me. First time, all these years, since I've been doing credit and tweaking with it. There you go. Got the date and everything. 850. You can't go no higher than 850. So they tell you I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta be doing something right. But let me tell you something else what happened. As I'm moving, I deal with credit so tough, and he can testify for this. Like, I always talk to him about this. Like, I might have I think I got about 9 credit cards. I'm not telling y'all to do this, don't do this, because you gotta be, I'm serious, like, you gotta be really committed. I think the average person should have 1 or 2 credit cards, to be honest with you. I don't think you need over 2 to be. I just deal with credit so tough, like, I'm trying to see different strategies and different ways how I can leverage it and make it work for me. That's why I do. So I'm not telling you to go do this, because I think the average person only should have about 1 or 2. The deal with credit is, the goal is to get higher credit limits. So you don't need 10 credit cards. If you got 2 credit cards with $100,000 limit, $50,000 a piece, man, you can work wonders with them. Just think. I know just for a fact, because I've done it. On some of our properties, I've written checks to pay the mortgage from a credit card. Does that sound foreign to y'all? Did anybody know you can do that? You can actually write checks to yourself and write stuff off your credit card to pay for it. So that's just another way to leverage credit. But like I said, you gotta be committed and disciplined when you're doing this stuff. You gotta be intentional about paying credit back when you use it. What happened to me right after this, the following month, I had 1 credit card I forgot about. It had a $10 balance. $10. Let me show you what that $10 done to my credit. 80 points. 80 points. Look at that. November, my credit dropped from an 850 to 776. 1 month. It had a $10 balance on it. I went in mode, right? I'm attack mode, because I'm like, oh no, they ain't gonna play me like this. So what I did is, so if you ever get a late payment on your credit card, what you can do, if you've never had a late payment in a 12 or 25 month period, consistently, you can call and they will reverse that late payment. They'll remove it. So I always remember, it's the communication part that people don't understand with these creditors. All they want you to do is communicate with them. I called in, hey man, it was an oversight. I thought this was on auto payment. This is my exact conversation. I thought this was on auto payment. I don't know how this $10 didn't get paid. They was like, oh, Mr. Will. I said, well, can y'all remove it? She said, oh, Mr. Will, let us take, the first thing that they said, let us take a look at your payment history. She came back in like 5 seconds. Oh, Mr. Will, you got perfect credit history. We'll remove it. I was like, okay. Also, I'm gonna need a letter to back that up, because I know I'm gonna have to deal with the bureaus about this, right? Because the bureaus, they quick to just put stuff on your credit. They don't care. I'm still going through with them about this right now. But I got the credit card company to send me a letter stating they removed the late fee and to remove it off my credit. That's what happened after I did it. I wasn't even satisfied with that, because remember, I had a dignity. I'm serious, like, when I tell y'all I'm passionate about credit, I beat this deal on some of the heat. Like, I'm still talking to them about this right now, because I still feel like they cheat me on my credit scores. Like, this is all 3 bureaus in my schools, and I feel like they still cheat me. So I'm still refuting this, like, I'm rebutting this, like, I'm disputing it, like, hey, look, no, y'all took my score down 80 points, y'all need to fix this. So I say, man, just stay up on y'all credit, man, because I'm telling you. And if y'all have anything y'all want to get afterwards, y'all get in touch with me about this credit stuff, and I can give you some little key points about how to, keep things in order, keep things in check, to make sure, your credit is increasing, because that's the goal. The better your credit is, the better your loans are going to be, the better interest rates you're going to have, and I'm going to tell you this, the better people are going to treat you. They don't even have to know you when you walk in places, but if they see your credit score, oh man, they know you're doing something right. They look at your score. Like, you don't see nobody with a high credit score and they're doing something wrong. It don't work like that. Just don't work like that. We're going to credit score factors, and of course, this is mine. I took this straight from experience. You see my payment. So this is what I teach my clients. I want y'all to grab something right quick. Jot this down. If you don't jot nothing down. Out of 100% of credit, 35% is payment history. 30% is utilization, which is the amount of debt. That's 65% out of 100%. That is all I teach my clients. That's it. I don't teach them nothing else because guess what? You'll let the credit history, you're doing that anyway. Every time you get credit, and the more you keep the credit, by the way, never close out an account. Never close your accounts. I'm telling you, if you do, your credit score will drop. That's why when you pay off auto loan, you notice your credit score might drop about 30 to 50 points. But then in a month, it'll go back up. It's crazy how credit works. But don't focus on that because that's just a revolving credit, installment of credit account that it just falls off, and that's how they look at it. Nothing you can do about it. But if you got a credit card account, unless you're just real bad with credit, do not close them accounts. Let them close them. If the creditor, if you're not using it, and I always say this, just put a little something like a gas, a bill, utility bill, something small that you know that the more you use that card, the more they're looking at how you utilize it. So they might increase it, and they might automatically do that, they might not. But I'll tell you what, all my cards got something I'm doing because I understand how credit works, and that's what I'm showing y'all today. But back to this. Let me go to this next one so you can see the graph. There it is. That 35% is 65% out of 100%. That's the only thing I focus on because let me show you something. It's like you get a 2-for-1 deal. Every time you make a payment, you drop it down your utilization. So that's a 2-for-1 deal, right? Did y'all understand that? Yeah. Every time you make a payment, you drop it down your utilization. So let me tell you a play to this. This is how I've been doing it for years. I'm telling you. When I make payments, I'm gonna give you a good example. If I put $1,000 on the card, I'm into every other week or so, I'm paying $300, instead of making one full payment, because remember, they're looking at payment history. What does payment history mean to you? History of you making payments. That's your profile. So that's what they're looking at when they say payment history. So every time you make a payment, it goes on your history. So instead of when you making one payment, you're making 3 payments, but you're paying the same amount. You just broke a hook. And you messed up the credit algorithm to make you think you made 3 payments. When in reality, you really made just one. You just did it 3 times. That's how you treat the algorithm. And I'm telling you, if you do that 2 months, I bet you, if you're doing everything right, your numbers should increase. I don't know how much they will, but I guarantee you they will increase some. You will see that. And that's the gist of what I teach my clients right there, what I just told you. That's how simple really credit is. That 65%, that's all I focus on. Here's some common pitfalls of credit right here. Overusing credit. When we say overusing credit, like you're never supposed to go over 30% or it will drop your loans. What I mean by 30% threshold is, say for example, if you got $1,000 credit limit, you're not supposed to use over $300. Same thing if you got a $10,000 credit limit, you're not supposed to go over $3,000. That's why you get the higher credit limits, because you will never bust that threshold unless you just out here doing something crazy. You never should go over 30% on your credit. You never should. That's like the rule of thumb. Because when you do, you will see those numbers drop. If you stay up under that 30% threshold, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. Paying only the minimum. You can't. Why would you want to do that anyway? If that's the case, sometimes you might get in some jams that you have to do that, but just don't make it a common thing. If you have to do that a couple of times, that's okay. But your goal is, like I said, is to make those payments. What I like to teach my clients is, we don't even use our debit cards anymore. We put them away for emergency. I use credit for absolutely everything. But again, I'm disciplined with it. So if you're not gonna be disciplined and committed with credit, don't do it. It ain't for you. You gotta be disciplined doing this stuff, and you gotta be on point with it. I'm telling you, if you do that, you're gonna get the rewards of using credit, but you gotta know how to use it. Opening too many accounts. You don't want to do that either. For what? Like, I do it because I've done it because I know how credit works. If I could go back, I probably would have had probably about 5, 6 cards. I would have had 9 or something like that. But I was, I'm trying to see how this stuff works over the years. So that's what I was doing. I was experimenting really, and it just worked in my favor, and I figured it out. Ignoring credit reports. This is why you need to monitor your credit every month. I always say, if you can't pay $25 or $30 a month for credit monitoring, you don't even care about yourself. I hate to say it like that, but $25 to $30 a month to know if somebody defrauding you or how your credit looks. I got a program I'm affiliated with, Identity IQ, which they run off all 3 of these. And I say, not even that. If you just want to go sign up at Experian, I always say, FICO, Experian, TransUnion, go sign up with one of those. I got all of them, but I don't need them. I just do it because I'm invested in credit like that. But you just go sign up for one of them. What that will do, you should be able to look at all 3 of your credit reports once a month from all 3 bureaus. And it just keeps you up to date with what's going on and what's on your credit, how your numbers increasing like that. So it just kind of give you an overview of your credit, and that's why you want to monitor it every month. Then you have these predatory lending practices. We know what happened in 2008. I'm pretty sure everybody has heard where interest rates was 30% higher than normal prices and stuff like that. But that's what they do when you have bad credit. They treat you bad. You know why? Because you don't have leverage. You take away your leverage when you have bad credit. So if you got your credit in check, you ain't got to worry about none of this stuff. None. Here are some ways to improve your credit. Pay your bills on time. Make sure you stay below that 30% utilization. Don't go over it. If you happen to go over it, pay it back. Pay it back fast. Get it back up under that 30% before they report to the bureau, which they report to the bureaus. Do anybody know when your credit card company report to the bureau?
Mm-hmm.
What is it, G? I know you know.
For my card?
No, anybody. I'm talking about what day is it that they report on?
Oh, I don't know.
It's the statement day.
I thought you meant like a specific date. Yeah.
No, it's a statement date that they report. So whatever your statement, that is a specific date,
Yeah.
but whatever your statement date is, so know your statement date because that's when they send this data to the bureau. So always know when that statement date come out because that's when they report it to the bureau. That's reporting back whatever you've done in that cycle, they report it back to the bureau.
So should you try to do it a couple of days before you make a payment, just so you can give yourself?
Well, if you know what that statement date is, you should be paying way before that. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how I catch up because if I know my statement date, I'm doing them weeks that I'm paying every week. Sometimes I don't pay twice a week sometimes. Because I'm just messing with it, trying to see how the algorithm is gonna treat my numbers. So I just play with it sometimes to see what it's gonna do. So that's one of the things that I'm just invested in, so I play with it.
Yeah.
You building a long credit history as long as you keep a good credit, you building that history. And having 2 or 3 credit, you diversify. So I always say that you might have, if you're investing, you might have some for you using for your materials. You might have one where you're paying your contractors. You might have one for you just living expenses. So that's you diversify and limit your hard inquiries. Don't be out here just applying for anything. Like, when you go to a dealership or something like that, and they run your credit, they do so many limits. They might run through 20, 30 limits. And you can actually get all those removed easily because they need your approval to do that. So if you submit that to the bureaus, you can dispute that and get removed. So another way is becoming authorized user. If you got a family member or a friend or somebody like that, they got good credit. Ask them, can you pick it back off their credit? Ask them to add you as an authorized user. Because when you do that, you're using their credit history. And if they got good credit history, good credit profile, it applies to you as well. So it'll help you build your credit. I used to do trade lines. I don't know if anybody know what trade lines are, but I used to do trade lines. And let me tell you what happened to me. This is why I don't really deal with Bank of America. I had business accounts, I had personal accounts, What Bank of America did, they knew I was doing trade lines. They couldn't make money out of it. You know what they did? They closed out all my accounts. I've been with them, I was up with them for over 20 years. And I couldn't believe it. I said, I called attorney because I said, man, this gotta be illegal. They couldn't do it. They said I had too many inquiries because I was doing trade lines. That was the excuse. I had too many, inquiries as people being on my credit. So when they would ride my credit and trade line, that's why they closed my accounts out. So, you have to be careful doing it, but you know what that taught me? That taught me, man, because never do business where you're doing your personal business. If you're doing business, if you got a business and you got a personal account, you better switch it because they can see everything you do. And I'm not saying it's not illegal or nothing like that. I just don't need them in my business. I don't need you seeing what's in my personal account and what I'm doing in my business account. You see what I'm saying? I learned that was just a lesson for me. That might not be for nobody else, but it was for me. So I learned how to do that. This is last resort, opening secured credit cards, because basically what you're doing is you're using your own money to build credit. I absolutely don't like it, but if you're in a bad situation and you need to do it. If that's gonna help you build credit, you can't build it no other way. You can't get nobody to add as authorized user, or you can't build credit, and that's the only way you do it. You have to do it till you can get in a better place where you can build your own credit, because that's the goal. You want to get on your own so you can build your own credit, so you can start leveraging and get whatever you want to do. So this is identifying errors. Man, this is why it's so critical to know what's on your credit report at all times, because there are lawsuits, and I got some slides on that as well coming down a little bit farther down in the slide presentation. But if you don't know what's on your credit, how are you going to identify any errors if you're not paying attention to it? That's why it's critical to know. You got like I said earlier, your name might be wrong. It might be somebody else's account on your information. Somebody else that you was riding before that you got taken off of, but it's still on your credit. So you need to make sure what's on your credit at all times. Here are steps to disputing errors on your credit. I do online disputing. I've seen a lot of people say, man, it don't work. It don't work for me. I think I'm a good 95% on disputing online. And I'm gonna tell you this though, it ain't easy because you have to know the wording and what to say when you're disputing. Like, you gotta know the credit rules. You gotta know, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You gotta know what the USC said, United States Code. You gotta know. So there are certain ways when you're disputing to have these things in there, because it really goes off your conversation, what you're saying that you have to dispute, and then the proof that you have to dispute. You hear a lot of people say, oh, we can get this rule, we can get this rule. First thing, I said, well, how you doing it? Oh, well, we can say this USA. I said, well, how are you backing it up? Are you just saying that? Yeah, no, that ain't right. That don't let nobody fool you like that. Always, when people are doing it, ask them to show you how they're doing that and what's the process. I understand this is like my little saying, information is free, the process is for free. Because people are not gonna give you that process. They're not. They put all this work into it. Why should they? That's what they get paid. And I'm okay with that, but still kind of show me like how this stuff is, how you working this to make it work in my favor. Everybody might not want to know that, but me, I'm just inquisitive like that. I want to know. I always want to know. Here's the legal protection agencies that you can kind of get information from. What I just mentioned earlier, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it grants you the right to dispute inaccuracies and ensure bureaus investigate disputes within a 30-day time frame. Sometimes, like I was talking to this young lady earlier, she has something going on that they said 45 days. That they can. They're just saying basically it's 30 days, but it could be 45 days. I seen some instances with 60 days. but you do need to report it. The CFPB is like, I bet you they know me. I guarantee you they know me. I go straight to them, boom. Every time I have a problem with someone on the bureau, I go to the CFPB and file a complaint. You can do this as a consumer, you can do this about anything, not just the bureaus. If you like a business, if they didn't treat you right, a store, go to the CFPB, go to their website, you can file a complaint on anybody if you feel that they're not doing something right. The FTC, that's another. You can file a complaint there, you know, they track, like all these scams, you get these text messages and somebody telling you to click this or, you know, do this. Man, you file that stuff, when you get those messages, go file it with the FTC. It's online. You can file all this stuff online. Any type of credit scam, you get a phone call, they saying do this, send this. Go online and file, take the number down, put the number in there when you talk to them all that. You can do this stuff right here. Last resort is the state attorney general's office. You can file a report with them as well if you feel like none of this stuff is working. Here's just a sample of the credit dispute level. And this came straight out CFPB. You'll be amazed what you'll find on CFPB. Go in there and look at it if you don't believe it. You can, anything about mortgages, anything about auto loans. I mean, they break it down. I mean, in layman terms, like, well, you can understand this stuff. But all you gotta do is tailor this stuff to your specific needs. What you've gone through, put in this letter, and you can send it out to the bureaus of dispute. Here's this is a real lending disclosure right here. I just did this 3 days ago. So we was in the deal, right? We need to pay our investors off. We have completed the deal, but we needed to fund it real quick. Like, this is a quick turnaround deal we're gonna do. We got $70,000 for 4 years, 48 months, at a 7.9 on a personal loan. My lenders, what you think a personal loan go for on the interest rate on a personal loan right now?
Double or triple that, sure.
This is the power of credit. What you're looking at. This is the power of credit. 7.91. That's a mortgage on a personal loan for 48 months. I could have done that if my credit score wasn't there. And plus, I got the relationship with, hey, I need this $70,000 real quick. You know, we're going through some bad like that. I couldn't pay it. I don't use my money. I use other people's money. It's fun doing it because now I understand the leverage, how I can do that without using my own money. And that's how you really grow your network, folks. I mean, it's part of the process. It is. Preventing identity theft, this goes back to monitoring your credit. You know, review all your credit reports on the regular. Somebody says, oh, review your credit reports every day. Almost. I mean, I look at mine almost every day. I want to know what's on mine. So I make it a point. When I wake up and I look at my phone, I click on it there. I'm looking at my credit score. Because I know it's valuable, right? If you got something valuable, how often do you look at it? All the time. That's the credit score is valuable. You know, secure your personal information. Make sure you're using like strong passwords, two-factor authentication. Don't be using these public Wi-Fi. Man, it's so much bad stuff going around when you connect to these public Wi-Fi. It's crazy. Like, people don't really know. They be doing banking and stuff. They going to these airports and stuff. Don't you know all that data somebody is capturing that data? That's how they get people's passwords and stuff. That's how they get your information. These places are not safe on everything. So just make sure you're aware of it. Also, when you get your mail, get your shredder, buy your shredder. I got a shredder that shred credit cards, mail documents, all that stuff. When I get it, I don't want to put that in the trash can because don't you know scammers go to the landfills and look for people's mail? Ain't that crazy? Yes. They get your personal information and they go back and use it. So make sure you don't just throw this stuff in the trash, shred it. Shred it. Also, that frees your credit. Anytime you apply for it, make sure you get a call. You know when somebody's applying for your credit, put a freeze on it. And just be vigilant. Watch out, for all these things that's going around. When you get these links on your phone, don't click on these links. Man, these scams are so sophisticated now, you can click on the link and it'll be monitoring your whole phone the whole time. You won't even know. Everything you type is going to some bot server. They capture all your data. When you get emails, if you know you ain't get no money and they tell you got $10,000 in here, why would you click on it? They get people like that. Because people be desperate. I know what it is, but I'm saying, don't fall for it. Don't fall for the banana and tell people. Don't fall for it. You know what? In another instance, when you get an email, if you just hover over the email address, it'll show you who it's from. And I guarantee you won't be that company. There's so many ways they're scamming out here. You just got to be careful. And another thing is like when people get calls and they ask for your information, most of the time companies will not call you and ask for your information. You're only authenticated when you call into that company. They will then ask you for certain information. Like, they might ask you for your last four, you got a password on there. But most companies, they will not call you and ask for your personal information. I tell you, that is a very rare. They will not do that. So just be wary of that. Here are some, most of the country, everybody think that America is the only one with a credit scoring system. But we ain't the only one, which is probably the most powerful one. But you got the United States, you got Canada, the UK, Australia, Germany, France, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, and New Zealand. They got a similar system to what we have in America, but it might be something else they call it or they use. Here are countries with developing or emerging credit systems: India, China, Brazil, Kenya, South America, Nigeria, Philippines, Mexico, Russia, and Indonesia. And here are countries without pretty much any credit system. The Sub-Saharan African nations, the Middle Eastern countries, Vietnam, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. This is what I was talking about earlier about the CFPB. They're suing right now. This was as of January 7th. They're suing Experian because they found that Experian was not, they was putting stuff back on people's credit. They weren't doing investigations right. They were just doing all kinds, just violating people's stuff. You know why? Because people weren't following up. They didn't know what was on their credit, or they just wasn't monitoring, which goes back to credit monitoring. The same thing, TransUnion got a case against them, look right there. Orders Equifax to pay $15 million for a proper investigation. So if you have any type of fraud right now, this is a good time to dispute. If you have anything on your credit, whatever it is, this is a good time to dispute, but just make sure you have a good reason for it. Because they're gonna ask that too. But these bureaus have just been doing outlandish stuff. And CFPB is catching them. This is my real estate team. This is my lovely wife right here, sitting right here. So this is all my information. You can take a picture of that, or you can scan it, and it'll give you all my information, or you can take a picture of the slide, whichever one. But if you have anything about credit, I'm very passionate about it, and I share information. I do. Some of the stuff I can share with, I can tell you the basic stuff. If you ever have any questions, anything you need like that, just give me a shot. Thank y'all for listening.
Appreciate you, man. For all that info.
Yes, sir.
He's serious. We've had these conversations a lot about credit. Now, remember when he called me about that 850? And I started thinking about it in the church. They said, Lord blesses us with others. I was like, man, maybe you can co-sign for me. You can co-sign in here, right?
Hey, never co-sign for nobody. I'm telling you. I told my mama,
Not even for your mom, huh? Yeah, so, hey, while you ready to get set up, we're gonna let everybody take a 10-15 minute break. Supposed to have pizza that's supposed to be in here right now, I'll give you a chance to check on that, but, thanks, Terrence, again, for the info, and, y'all take a break, and we'll reconvene here shortly. Is it okay? Okay.
Hey, Superman, I'm gonna have to call you to stay with me. Hey, I'm only known like maybe 2 people in my life.
Man,
And
I'll tell you,
you're right, it takes a hit down there when you just do one little thing.
one thing about it,
It takes a hit down there. When you just do one thing. It is great. I think what it is. I'm glad to do it. I'm gonna get 3 shots. Okay.
I don't need your job. I need to show you everything real quick.
You want me on the same side as her?
You do, whatever you want to do, Graham. There we go. Oh, perfect.
Make sure I got a good filter.
Huh?
Make sure I have a good filter.
I never filter. I'm terrible about that. You don't need a filter. Got it.
Thank you.
Okay, morning talk. All right, so I hope everybody got a chance to get some cookies. Some more pieces, okay. So we had a little hiccup with the piece, but it's coming. I can guarantee you that, so don't eat too many cookies, because I don't want you to lose your appetite. But, we do have another realtor that just came in. I like his people off guard. But if you don't mind, can you introduce yourself and tell us who you are?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica Parks, and I'm a realtor for Eddie Holiday up in Sherman.
There's a lot going on in Sherman, that's really why I call it out. Sherman is building this huge facility. Is it with IT Tech Center?
Yeah, TI.
Yeah, so I'm saying that because of driving a lot of activity up there, so.
So much growth.
Yeah, Yeah, so someone wants to come from the area, you're definitely contact, but, I'm going to introduce Deb. Her session is on, the owner occupant home. So, Deb has been in the industry 9 years, right? Yeah, she's been a broker for a little more than a year now. And, she's gonna bring a wealth of information, so if you could, like the community say, as she walks to the stage, clap like Deb's coming to the stage.
Well, good afternoon. It is 12:30. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So I think y'all have given me, y'all need y'all to come up with me. I need some energy, okay? Get your little sugar rush on the cookie. Okay. Give me just a second. This literally just went off. All right, there we go. So I know they already asked the question before. How many of you own a home, have owned a home, own one right now? Okay, so y'all pretty much know the process of everything. This is just going to be a refresher for you all, but it's going to be the Dominant Realty way, okay? Just a little bit about me. I am a native from Tyler, Texas. If you don't know where that's at, go straight down I-20. You're going to run into Rose City. That's exactly where I'm from. I am a homeowner. The reason why I put that is because you never want someone to sell you something that they never use, own, know about, before they try to give it to you. I'm sorry. Before they try to give it to you. I do have a bachelor's in business management. I became a realtor back in February of 2016. Got out the military. I did 13 years in the Army and got out January 2016. February 2016, I became a realtor. Became a broker last year, April the 4th of 2024. So 4/4/24, and it was also 3 days before my 40th birthday. So that was a big milestone. And these are just a few boards that I'm a part of. I'm part of Metro Tech, which is all over DFW. GTAR covers the greater Tyler area. HAR is Houston, and Unlock is Austin. So I am qualified to sell and help you buy in those areas. So my name, the brokerage name is Dominant Realty. The reason why is I have a daughter, and this is the legacy for her to have something to build up on and to carry on with. Dominant Realty came about, I was sitting in my broker's class, and it's telling you how to become a broker, coming up with names that's going to be easy to remember. And literally, y'all, this one just literally popped into my head. It has a little sketch page, and it says, just jot down a few names. And the first thing that came to my head was Dominant. Never heard it, never thought about it. And I'm like, if you can't be a millionaire, you might as well be a dominator, get a house. But this is my daughter, she's 14, and she gives me a run for my money. So this page, when choosing a real estate agent, things you need to consider. The experience, market knowledge, negotiation skills, your local reputation, reviews, personality, and if they have any disciplinary actions. You can also go to track.gov to find that out. What do y'all consider things when y'all looking for an agent? Can someone give me some feedback? Yes, the personality, definitely. It plays a big role because you want the person to know who you are, to know what to actually help you with when you find your home. Because it's more than just finding the four walls and, hey, can you afford this? Do it fit your lifestyle. The area, it is a place where your kids can go outside and play, everything like that. So you want to know the dynamics of the family. And you have to be personal with them sometimes. I am a Christian, so we always going to put God somewhere. So hey, Proverbs 13:22 says, a good person leaves an inheritance for their children. Leaves an inheritance for their children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up righteous. This verse suggests that you should use your money wisely, leave good things behind for your future generations. And like he said, the first speaker, Damon, was talking about generational wealth. Listen, it's biblical. You definitely want to do that. It's one of my fun slides. It says, what do people think real estate agents do? They think we just open doors and turn on and off lights. But what we really do, we schedule appointments, we market properties, we research the comparables, we write and execute contracts, we cry, and then we drink very heavily. Because when we're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars, people are angry. And when things aren't going their way, and who are they going to put it on? You, because you're the one that's in charge. You're the one that's driving the caboose, and they need to put their anger somewhere. They're going to displace it on you, definitely. I specialize in residential real estate by helping veterans, first-time home buyers, investors, and sellers. Mind you, when you're looking for that real estate agent, make sure it's someone that compares to you, what you're looking to do. If you're an investor and you're looking to buy a house and you're trying to find an area that you buy a house, there's certain things you need to look for, not just the regular, can I afford the payment? You need to look and see if it's going to make you money in the end. First-time home buyers, listen, I'm very good with first-time home buyers. That is my heart right there. They're always scared to make that leap and jump, and I make it so much fun, and I love having the personality with them that we can go out and just have fun in the process. Veterans, also, any veterans in the house? 2? Y'all hold a special part in my heart, Facebook. All right, we got the 7 steps to the home buying process. So this, what I'm going to basically go through is the steps. Everybody thinks buying a home is so hard. There's 7 steps. I have condensed it into 7 steps. Can someone guess what the first one is? Huh? No. First step. Come on, somebody should know.
Look at your credit.
Partner with a qualified real estate agent, me. I need you to partner with me because when you first call me, there's things that I can help and guide you with. I have a slew of resources. I have a slew of people that I keep in contact with. I network just so I can have multiple people, multiple agents, multiple lenders that's going to fit your personal need, because not everybody's needs is the same. So we're going to talk about the agent. We're going to talk about getting your loan pre-approved, starting to look for potential homes, make a smart and fair offer. A lot of people try to lowball the offers. I'm going to help you with that. We don't want to do that. We're going to have a professional home inspector take notes of all your deadlines and sign the paperwork and close the sale. So we're going to run through these and see what y'all can learn. It says, I'm not paying 7% interest on the mortgage. He said rent is 100%. A lot of people have an issue with the interest rates right now. And y'all have to understand, this is the new norm. Back when COVID hit and the rates was low, I jumped in on it. My house right now, I have a 2.75 interest rate, and I wouldn't want to pay a 7 right now. I jumped in at the right time, and I thank God that I did. But a lot of people thinking this is too high, it's gonna fall. Once we get elected, all summer, I have some listings, and they haven't sold just yet. But all the buyers were saying like the same thing. I want to wait till after the election, and once the election, I know the rates are going to drop. It doesn't work like that. I just want y'all to know. But if you're renting, you're paying 100% interest on something that you don't own anyway. Pros and cons of renting. Yes, I have this list up here, but I want to hear some of yours. Anybody renting right now, what do you not like about the place that you're renting? Whether it's the cost, the place, the atmosphere? Anybody have any gripes or concerns?
The cost, place, the atmosphere.
All of the above, right? Sure.
I feel like I live in my neighborhood there. So
Yeah.
I'm on your schedule now, so I don't get up at 5:45, but I have this in 2 months, please.
Uh-huh.
When you show listen, I holler, Dad, Gabby, go to bed.
I love it. See, those are the cons. You're unable to build equity. You have less control over your living space, no tax benefits, less privacy, and you know everybody got a pet and that's their next of kin. They're got pet restrictions. So, but renting, there is some pros about it. We're not gonna take that now. It's less expensive upfront cost. Maintenance and repairs, they're so easy. Let me go online and tell maintenance to come fix something. Improve your credit score with rent, no property or state taxes, and it's easy to relocate. Now, buying, on the other hand, the cons of buying is the upfront cost. How many people have at least $60,000 in their account right now? Oh, can I borrow that? Tomorrow? But no, seriously, the upfront cost, that's going to make include your down payment, closing costs, and then of course all your prepays, everything like that. So yes, that is one of the cons, but one of the good things you get with a good lender, there's ways to get money for that. So it can actually move over to a pro. Maintenance and repairs. Listen, I am a single mom. Like I said, I have a 14-year-old daughter. I own this home. Listen, there's plenty of things at my house that's broke right now, and I don't have nobody come fix it, and I have to fix it myself. So yes, it is a heartache, a headache to have to deal with and not have to depend on someone else and how someone else can do it. But hey, it's mine. So property, state taxes, less flexibility. Buying the pro, you have no pet restrictions at all. You can have your pets run around all day long if you want to. You build equity. That is my number one thing, and I'm actually going to hit on that later on. You can improve your credit score with your mortgage, home appreciation, tax benefits, and privacy. Anybody else have anything else that they want to add to that list?
Oh, with the buying of the home, which of course I bought my first bank account in 2004. The thing that I feel like you should talk more is that you need a separate account outside of the home versus with your bills, because when things go wrong, you don't want it to take away from how to take care of yourself versus the home.
Correct.
And I don't think we talked that enough, or it has been talked about during the times of teaching how to buy a home.
Oh, I absolutely love that, and I'm actually going to hit on that later on. I appreciate that. Hey, listen, when y'all see someone talking to themselves, which y'all first thing I think, that crazy, right? They say they're talking to themselves. So y'all not gonna have me up here talking to myself. Y'all gonna talk back to me, okay? Don't have me up here looking crazy. I need y'all to talk back, all right? Yes, ma'am.
Cons buying right now, the insurance rates are ridiculous.
Yeah, sure. If y'all didn't hear, she said the insurance rates on houses are ridiculous. They're actually, I don't know much about it, but I do know in Florida, a lot of the insurances are dropping homeowners. And it's just, say again?
Same thing in California.
Yeah.
And a lot of places in Texas, so the major companies, from what I understand, over the past 5 years, they suffered billions of dollars in losses from floods, fire, storms, and things like that. So they're pulling out of the more high-risk areas, California, Florida, Texas. Our rates are going up because they don't really want to do business here anymore, because what do we have here? We had those tornadoes.
Yeah.
We had flooding down in Houston. This costing State Farm and Allstate billions of dollars. They don't want to lose billions of dollars, so they're basically pricing themselves out of the market.
Correct. So what do they do, so what do the homeowners supposed to do in that instance when they just having to pay out of pocket for any damage that may come when storms come through?
Well, I wouldn't do that, no, because you're talking multiple cons in that, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're all in the same boat in this, and we're gonna have to pay what we have to pay for our insurance.
Gotcha.
Until legislation comes down to kind of regulate this thing, there's really nothing really we can do.
Okay.
Be vigilant about your house, make sure your roof is good, make sure your foundation stays straight, water your foundation, stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, none of us can stop a tornado from coming. Sure. None of us can stop a hailstorm. So we just, unfortunately, we're at the mercy of the insurance companies until the laws change.
See, well, you have all.
That also plays back in the creek. I guarantee you, you take somebody with a little critical, somebody with a high, I guarantee you that it's different. It could be the same home. So their credit plays a role in it as well. So even though, like you said, it's inevitable, we just can't get past that one. The rates are gonna go up, but if your credit scores and your PTI, they look at this stuff.
Okay. That is power of credit right there. All right, the benefits of buying a home. This is the number one thing that I say, me, Deborah Jones, I'm speaking on behalf of me, of buying a home. Equity. I look at it as if it's a bank account. I'm gonna give you my own personal home. I bought my home January 21. That was the second year of COVID. I got a 2.75 interest rate. I bought my home for $390. COVID is at its height. By the end of 21, mid 22, in that era, the price of my house literally went up to $700K. I kid you not. I bought it at $390 January 21, and by the summer of 22, all my homes, I'm in a townhome community. I have a townhome. All the townhomes we was selling at 700. We got up to 700. Y'all, 1 year, somebody do the math for me. 390 from 700. That's how, if I would have sold my house that very next summer, I would have been pocketing all of that money right there. That's $300K I would have been putting in my pocket. And 100% of that would have went to, I would have had none of that if I was renting that place. So this is just like a quick breakdown so you can just see your home value is $250. You're down, if you do a down payment of $17,500, so that means you're only gonna finance $232,500. That means you have $17,500 in equity right there. So basically that means if you just turn right back around and sell your house, no, you're not gonna pocket the whole $17,000, only because you're gonna have fees that you have to pay, realtor fees, taxes and stuff like that. It's going to deduct from that, but you do get a majority of it back if you can. But yes.
Where does the home equity come from? Is it from just putting into the house, or where's that money coming from exactly?
So it comes from two different places. So it can come from you just paying your mortgage, and so you're basically getting that money back in the end over a long-term period, not just right away. Definitely. And then the market as well. So when things happen in the market, like COVID hit, my house literally went up to 700 and I could sold at 700K. That put me at 300,000 in equity. I could have pocketed. Now that the market has leveled back out, we're down to 560, between 540 and 560. This is where we at right now. So I still have over 160K in equity right now that I can get.
So is it a percentage that you're paying out of your mortgage that's going into equity?
No, so equity,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna let, go ahead. You want to let him talk about it for you so you get a clear understanding.
Your mortgage is basically made up of 3, maybe 4 things. You have your principal and interest. That is your 232 mortgage with your interest at whatever percent. Okay, then you have your escrow, taxes, and insurance, right? That's going to be your property taxes, which are going to change every year, and your home insurance, which is going to change every year. But your principal and interest doesn't change. So out of that, let's say on this 232, let's say, just for round numbers' sake, let's say the total mortgage payment is $2,000, right? $700 of that is for your property taxes and your insurance. So that principal and interest, that $1,300 is what you're paying for the house every month. But most of that is interest, right? It's that whatever percent. That principal, which is, let's call it $300 a month, is gonna go pay down that balance, this mortgage balance here. So next month, instead of owing 232, you'll 232.5, you'll 232.2. But the house is still worth 250. So the difference between what the house is worth and what you owe on it is your equity. Make sense? So that's gonna change based on the market and how much money you owe in principal. So if you make, let's say you make 1 or 2 extra mortgage payments a year, it will reduce your principal amount faster than you paying 1 mortgage payment a year. But just quick, if you do that, don't make sure it's a principal payment, don't just like a regular mortgage payment.
Thank you very much. See, teamwork and teamwork. Everybody clear on that? Go ahead, Superman.
Hey, I got one. So, on the equity play, because I just had a client that is, a lot of people, when you have that equity home, because a lot of people don't want to get out of these low percentage interest rates, right? These 2%, whatever they have, right? I had a client that didn't have a job, right? House is paid off, paid in full. He thought he could just walk into the bank and get all the equity. Well, the thing is, the bank like, well, people don't understand, when you get that money from that equity, you have to pay it back. And you have to have the means to show them you can pay it back. So like I was telling them, we were gonna have a W-2 or 1099. I don't care what it is, we need to figure it out. But they're gonna wanna know how they're gonna get their money. They're gonna take your property, don't worry about that. You don't pay it, they're gonna take it. But they wanna know how they're gonna get this money back. So when you have people with that equity, just make them understand that you got to, there's still factors, there's like in the long run. You still gotta have, good principal, you got all that stuff as well. So just make sure people understand that.
So is that why people take the equity and like invest into something else?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And these right here, this is the ways to get your equity out. You can do a home equity loan, home equity line of credit, or a cash out refi. So this information shows how to get the funds. Home equity loan, they're gonna give you a lump sum check. Can y'all see that back there? This is kind of small. Home equity line of credit, you withdraw the funds as you need it, and a cash out refi is one lump sum check for the difference between the 2 mortgages. Now, how much can you borrow? Majority of them, you cannot get 100% of your equity out. Most of the time, it's just 80%. Like this, between 80 and 85% for the home equity, 85% for the home equity line of credit, and the cash out at 80%. I don't want to get too deep into that, but I just want to show you that there's ways to get your money out of the house, and this is why you should want to get a house. Because when you rent, you don't have nothing, that money going, you're paying someone else's mortgage. They can go get the money, but you can't.
Hey everyone, it's your homegirl Deborah Jones, and this is the news that you can use or do before you call a realtor. So first things first, gather all your documents. You will need your photo ID, 2 months of bank statements, 2 months of pay stubs or your W-2s, and 2 years of tax returns. Turn these documents in when you submit your application, and it'll make your approval process go a lot faster and a lot smoother. Next, check your credit report. Make sure there are no late pays in the last 12 months, no derogatory or collection accounts on your report, because this will get you denied for a loan or house at this time. And lastly, have money in the bank. Even though a lot of lenders are advertising no down payment, you will have prepays that include earnest money, option fee, appraisal fee, and inspection. I suggest having about $5,000 in the bank to cover these fees. This is your homegirl Deborah Jones, and this is the news that you can use in one minute.
So with that being said, before you call me, this is the thing I send out to all my clients. Instead of trying to type, you're gonna forget. It's a lot of information. But just to let you know that dollar amount that I said, that's just your prepaid. A lot of people don't understand. When you go on the contract, you have your earnest money, you have option fee. Option fee is basically you saying they're taking a house off the market and you get a chance to go get this house inspected to make sure this is the house that you actually want. Make sure the house is all good. Appraisal, the lender is going to send out an appraiser. You have to pay for that. That is something they're going to make sure that the house is valued where it's supposed to be valued at, to make sure that you're not overpaying. That's when something good for you. So those are your prepays. I say just have about at least $5,000 just to cover those, but that does not include down payment and closing costs. So I just wanted to make that clear. So your qualified agent will connect you with good lenders. We have two great lenders that was here today. We got Aaron James with Guild Mortgage and Damon. He's also with Hometown Lending. They're going to talk you through the whole money situation from the beginning. When you're going to know about how much you're going to be needing to spend, how much everything is. Once I find a house for you, then you can find out before we sign any dotted line how much you're going to be possibly paying each month, including the taxes and the insurance. Any questions on that so far? Everybody good? Get your loan pre-approved. The pre-approval lets you know how much you can potentially borrow. This sets your budget for the whole buying process. Pre-approval loan is necessary when you're making an offer. So a pre-approval, this sets your budget. So you have to understand, you may have $600K to $1 million taste, but your budget says that you can only afford $300K. I'm not going to send you no house for $600K and you can only afford $300. The reason because you're going to get upset. You're going to like what you see in the sixes when you can only afford those three. I don't want you to get your hopes up, so we're definitely going to get that pre-approval first before we look at any houses. So types of mortgage loans. I'm not going to get deep into it. I just want you to know what is all out there. There's quite a few, and it's even more than this. You have fixed rates, adjustable rate mortgages, interest rate, jumbo loans, balloon, reverse, constructions, and so on and so on. The main four that we mainly use on our day-to-day basis when we're dealing with the 1-4 homes, 1-4 family homes is conventional loans, USDA, FHA, and VA. Now, FHA loan, that is one of the most common loans that you will get approved for. This requires 3.5% down. So whatever the price of the house is, if it's $200K, you're going to pay 3.5% down of that $200K. That's going to be your down payment. Mind you, that does not include closing costs and all your prepaid. This is great for first-time home buyers. The FHA loan is a mortgage insured by the Federal Housing Administration. This mortgage type offers a lower down payment, and customers with lower credit scores have an easier time qualifying for it. Conventional loans. They're usually between 5% and 25% down of the price of the house. Conventional just means that the loan is not part of a specific government program. Conventional loans typically cost less than FHA loans, but can be more difficult to obtain and usually require a higher down payment. So when you have good credit score, you might want to go the conventional route because you get the lower interest rates and stuff like that. Am I correct, Marcus?
Yeah, you have better credit score works every time.
Exactly. USDA loans. A USDA loan is a zero down payment mortgage eligible rural home buyers. Okay, so if you don't have no money and you want to buy a house, and the best way of actually, do you know the cap on the USDA right now? Income cap?
It changes by county.
Okay.
So because the Dallas County, they give you a little more, there's not as many properties. As you get to Sherman, it's a little bit lower, there's local property. So,
right.
Yeah, but you can search on their website, Calvert County.
So USDA, I know right now, Anna is a good place to get a USDA loan. Me and Aaron had 2 clients out there looking in the Anna area, so they don't have to pay a down payment. They build it up out there, so you can get a brand new house still with a zero down payment. The other one with the zero down is a VA loan. VA loan is a mortgage loan in the United States guaranteed by the United States Department of Veteran Affairs. This program is for our veterans. Y'all 2 veterans back there. Oh, Aaron, can you tell them about the minimum credit score for VAs right now?
We did VA down to the lowest 540 credit score.
Okay. 540 credit score? Okay, gotcha.
The veterans, the one thing that about VA loans, especially for our veterans in the room, that's important, it is a very flexible loan, specifically because of the service you served. You can have a late pay last year, and we can explain it. There's a lot of things they do that other loans don't. So if you are a veteran or know a veteran, please push this loan because we have a lot of them on VA versus others.
I always say, VA loans are the best loans.
Yep, I totally agree.
They're the absolute best loans. If you're a veteran and you're not taking advantage of VA loans, then we need to have a conversation like 30 days ago. It doesn't really make any sense. Zero down, and they do have sometimes a funding, but if you're any type of disabled, you're getting any money from the VA as a benefit, then you can be, in most cases, you're exempt from that money. So that means that you're not paying more money up front, right?
And no mortgage insurance.
And no mortgage.
And no taxes.
Sorry? Well,
That's only 100% difference.
property
Yes,
tax-
yes.
If you're 100% disabled, you do not pay property taxes. However, you still, most lenders, you still have to account for the qualification. Once you move into the house, you send them the paperwork and that property tax goes away.
Awesome. The next one don't get talked about enough. This one, is your FHA 203K loan, it's your rehab loan. This is referred to as a renovation loan. It enables home buyers to finance both the purchase and the renovation of a home through a single mortgage instead of applying for multiple loans. So a lot of people have been complaining. The reason why I put this one on the slide because I have had a lot of people complaining about they're getting priced out of the home that they want. It's too expensive for them to get it, and they want something nice. So they find what's in their price range, and it needs work done to it. This way, with this loan, you'll be able to do the rehab and the mortgage together in one loan. But you need to talk to your lender about that and see what works best for you. Go ahead.
Can you get that if you already have a home? Can you get like on a second home or no?
Well, that might actually work better for you to just pull your equity out your home. Do an equity line of credit or a cash out refi. It may be better if you want to redo your home down there. This is at the start of the process of buying a home. But since you already own
But
it,
if you're trying to buy a second home or investment property, can you use that loan or no?
can you use it?
We don't have one FHA loan, but there are, you'd be surprised how many programs in your market that will allow rehab outside of 203K. This is the most common for first-time home buyers to use using that. But there's, I know Deborah, there's ways to make the seller get protected except that avoid this loan. This is the last resort. In my opinion. And they could
All right, so what are y'all looking for in a home? Just say right now you got your pre-approval in hand. What's one of the things that you're looking for? Kitchen and bathroom, what about it? Nice open kitchen? Okay.
Space.
You need backyard?
Yes, right, my dog.
Okay. Hey, the family member, the pet, yes. Somebody says space. What else are y'all looking for in a house? School district. School district? School district. Okay, so let me set this scenario for you. I have a question. What are your cannots? What can you not do without? You can't do without the kitchen. Okay. Let's just say the kitchen that you want is everything, well, it has the kitchen, but everything else is kind of iffy. That's not the house for it? Oh, okay. Oh, you're a good client. All right. No, seriously. So I have clients, the layout is perfect. They have the space that they want. They have everything they're looking for, but I did not want no white cabinets in my kitchen. And they like, no, we're not gonna get this out. This is not the house. You have to understand the cosmetic things. We want you to have exactly what you want. You're paying for it, most definitely. But if it's a DIY or something that you can do yourself, listen, take that into consideration, especially if we have looked and for months and we can't find exactly what you're wanting. Let's try to make some adjustments, some things that we can compromise on. One person had everything they wanted in the house, and then the backyard was small. Well, how much time are you really going to be spending in the backyard? You have to understand, this is not your forever home. We can always sell this home, get the equity out, use that to go even bigger. Just baby steps, like they call them, first-time homes, or, well, not first-time homes, or start homes for a reason. It starts your whole portfolio. You can start small, and each time go up, because you're getting equity from each one, as long as you have it, was depending on the market, and use that money to go bigger and bigger until you actually can get your dream home. A lot of people want their dream home on the first house. That's it, that's all. I want every box checked, and that's it. But learn to know what you can compromise on. We won't compromise on the things that's for sure. Like if you have 5 kids, we ain't gonna compromise on size and get you a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. No. But if the house is everything, and you wanted that backyard, but you can't seem to find it, can we compromise on that backyard when we have everything that we need in the house? So just knowing the things that you can and cannot compromise on works wonders.
Can I comment to that real quick?
Yes.
That is crucial for your realtor partner. I will say again, 24-something years in the industry. If you don't have someone who realty like that, you're with the wrong partner, because you will waste time, heartbreak, everything, thinking it's out there when it's not. You want someone who is blunt and honest with you and tell you just like that.
I've been in the industry for 9 years. February will be 9 years. I sold 2 houses. Houses sell themselves. 2 of them I actually had to sell to the client. It wasn't aesthetically what they wanted. All I did, I went up to my phone on Pinterest, said, girl, we can do this to this and move that right there. And I'm like, see, but no, if we knock down this wall and then do this, that, and the other, it'll be perfect. Sure. Oh my God, they do it. Let's put an offer in. I sold that house. Every house sells themselves. If you tell me what you want, I'm not gonna waste your time, and I'm darn sure not gonna waste mine. I'm gonna put you in what you want and what you're telling me, so it's crucial for you to know what you can compromise on and what you can't. So let's talk about new construction versus pre-existing homes. Who would rather have a new construction home? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Who wants a pre-existing? I'm guessing the rest of y'all want pre-existing.
Yes, that's a trick question. Because even when you get new foundations, you run into a barrier. I've seen it when people run into cracks in the foundation maybe 6 months later. So it's definitely got to be the area that you're going to, how the ground is developed.
Correct.
So it's a little bit more than just like, oh, it's still old construction, you got a better chance of maybe, like you said, going in and knocking it out. I don't want new construction, I gotta go in and try to change it. But I'm definitely not for the, what's this homeowners association stuff?
That's your right.
I can't, that's not. So you just look at how they just restrict you, and this is your property, but you're you have to buy a certain style and all that. That's it, I would say. So I guess it would be, you kind of gotta play it by ear, because older homes give you more space. The structure, sometimes the wood that they used was much better back then. The quality of the home was much better than the new construction. So it's kind of a 50-50. No, I'm gonna go 70-50.
All right, well, these are the pros and cons. So pre-existing homes, you're gonna be in an established neighborhood, preferable location. You're gonna have mature trees and plants and added value with upgrades. That right there works on your equity. When you get a pre-existing home and you go in and do any renovations is a big thing when you're adding equity to your home. A lot of people convert their garages into a bedroom. That is not going to bring your house value. Solar panels, if they're not paid off, they're not going to bring your house any value. The things that bring value when you update the kitchen, update the bathrooms, do all your floorings and stuff like that, those are things that add value. So these are the pros. You are in established neighborhoods. You can add value to the house and so forth. Now the cons, you got an outdated floor plan. Most of your pre-existing homes, your 80s and 90s, they have closed off rooms. It doesn't have an open kitchen and everything like that, what everybody wants now. You got a budget for repairs. Hey, when we go into those inspections, the inspections is what's visual. We can't actually go, the inspector cannot go into the walls and see if they can use some copper piping and anything like that. So you have to budget for the repairs for those because you just never know. Less personal design. You got someone else's design. When you actually build in your home or get a new construction, depending on what phase it is, some of the builders actually let you put your own twist to the house. And less energy efficient. Listen, the newer the home, the more energy efficient the house is. Of course, windows and everything, your heating and air, everything like that. So new construction pros, you got modern and brand, they're modern and brand new. They're customizable, energy efficient, and they're move-in ready. Some of the cons, you have a longer timeline. Right now, what's the average? 6 months for a house to get built, Killer?
Yep.
By 6 months for a house to get built.
Built and sold.
Built and sold. So that means you can't go run up your credit. Once you get approved for the new house, you have to wait for that house to be built. You can't go run up your credit and be like, oh, I'm gonna pay this out real quick. They're gonna check your credit again once before. What's the day y'all actually do it? The day before closing or something? Did y'all run the credit again?
We don't really, credit reports generally good for about 90 days, I think 60. I don't really like to go past 60, but we don't really have to pull your credit report again unless it's been more than 90 days. But they do things like employment verification, like the day of or the day before.
Okay, yeah.
There's always be a if you get approved for a house and you're on new construction, just don't make any major credit purchase. Don't go buy no furniture, okay? You can wait.
Yes.
Nebraska Furniture Mart will always offer you 0 down, and don't pay not just this month. Wait, don't get a new car, and don't quit your job.
That's, don't put your dog. You'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Longer commute, they're saying longer commute because they're only building outside. That's where all the land is at, not actually in the cities. So you'll have a longer commute. And of course, like you said, the HOA. Hey, now it's time for us to start looking for your potential homes. Work with your agent to narrow your search and schedule house viewings. Know what you can and cannot compromise on. I'm trying to tell y'all, everyone wants their dream house the first shot. Hey, that's my goal, but if it's not out there, we gotta know what we can compromise on, what we can give up on. I don't need to, I need to try to go back and see. Yeah, oh, this is just me. Everybody talk about how fast I drive. Listen, guys, I need y'all to keep up. We on schedule. We got what's really fast. So that's me trying to make sure y'all still behind me. All right, make a smart offer. When you find a house that fits your needs and preferences, submit an offer. Trust your agent to lead the negotiations in your favor. Listen. I drove around all DFW showing you houses time after time. I don't get paid unless I get you to the table. So I want to make sure that you're happy. One person can bring me at least $1 million worth of clients due to sales. So if I treat you good, oh, you can tell your cousin, my agent was awesome. Yeah, you need to use her. I have to make you happy. I'm not just trying to make a deal. I'm in this for long run. This is how I pay my mortgage. So we're gonna put in a good offer. A lot of people be like, oh, I had one guy. He was so adamant. House was on the market for 2 days. He wanted to drop and put in the offer $50,000 below asking price. That makes no sense. We're not gonna waste these people's time. We're gonna waste my time on that type of stuff. What I will do for you, we found a house, just say the house is $200K. I'm gonna go run comps on that house to make sure that house is priced correctly. Because some agents do wanna raise the price up so you can narrow them down. But hey, if it's listed at $200K and it really should be $175, at that time, I will put the offer in at $175. And also, I'm texting that agent, hey, I pulled my own comps. If you can show me the comps that you used to get that $200, compare them to mine. I got $175. This is why we're coming in that offer. I'm gonna do my homework. I'm not just gonna be, well, they said it's $200. You need to put yours in at $200. No, I'm gonna make sure you get what you need to do, what you need to get out of it. Remember other deadlines. Stay on top of communicating with your agent to address any possible issues that come up. Submit the needed documents and schedule an appraisal if you're getting a mortgage. I think the next one is my video. There we go.
Hey everyone, it's your homegirl, Deborah Jones, and we are now under contract. So first things first, we have 3 business days to have your earnest money and option be paid. You can either wire it, mail it, or personally take it to the title company. Next is inspection. We generally have 5 to 7 business days to have the house inspected, the report reviewed, and sent back to the seller. Failure to do so by the deadline gives the seller no obligation to negotiate repairs with us. And even though the inspector is going to inspect the whole house, I personally like to look at the big ticket items like the AC unit, water heater, roof foundation, electrical, and plumbing. I like to ensure these things with my project hours in the near future. And lastly, documents. The lenders will be asking for multiple documents and it may seem redundant. Please turn these documents in within 24 hours to ensure there's no delay with closing. This is your home girl, and this is the news that you can use in 1 minute.
All right, so there was a lot of information in that. I need y'all to understand the turnaround with the documents. How important is the turnaround with documents like this?
That was great. I got that too.
Okay. All right, the deadline, when a lot of you don't know an inspector, house home inspectors. I have a list of them that I like to use. I know how soon I get I have one, Bobby. Bobby is gonna give me that report literally that same day. He's gonna work until I get the report that same day, because he understands that we are on a time crunch. Usually right now, we're doing like 5-day option periods, so I have to get him scheduled to come out there. Mind you, the sellers have to allow me to let Bobby out there, have to allow me to let Bobby out there to come and do the inspection. He's gonna get that inspection done. What we're gonna look for, I look for his, he color code my stuff. Red. Anything that's red, oh, I'm writing it up. I need y'all to get this fixed. I need you to fix it. So here we go. Issues to look out for include termite problems and structural damage. Be prepared for another round of negotiations based on the necessary repairs. This is our second round of negotiations at this point. We negotiated on price, now we're negotiating on inspections, on the repairs. This can be handled 2 different ways. We can ask the seller, hey, this is everything that came back that is deficient and needs to be fixed. I need y'all to fix this before I move in. Or they're gonna say, we don't have the money. A lot of people may be selling their houses just so they can get the cash out, 100% of their cash out, and to start over. So they may not have the money to fix these repairs. So they may say, hey, we're gonna take the price off the house. So you go get your contractors out, and I help you coordinate that as well. I have done it multiple times. We're gonna get some people out there, get us a few quotes, and we're gonna present it to that seller. Hey, this is how much it's gonna cost to get all these things fixed. Since you don't have the money to, I need to take this $20K off the sale price of the house. But then it falls back on you to get it fixed. If you want to go ahead with the sale of the house and buy it, at that time, you're gonna be fixing that house out of your own pocket at this time, because we already took it out the price of the house. So just be prepared and open to those type of negotiations. It gets a little deeper than that, but hey, I'm gonna need you to call me for more and more. Home warranty. So this goes back to one of the things we were saying. A home warranty is a service contract that covers the repair or replacement of a home system and appliances. Home warranties are different from homeowner's insurance, which covers damage to the home itself. What does the home warranty cover? Appliances. The appliances that it covers is going to be your built-in microwave. Not your microwave that's sitting on the counter. Your built-in microwave, if you a refrigerator, your stove, your dishwasher, those are the appliances that it covers. Systems is going to be your HVAC, it's going to be your electrical, your plumbing, those things. Water heater, that's one of the things that the home warranty will cover. And how does a home warranty work? You're either going to be paying a monthly fee or you're going to pay it all at one time for annual. I will say, when you buy a house with me and I'm your realtor and you're on the buying side, I do put that in the contract and ask the seller to pay for your first year warranty. That's gonna cover you for the first year. I'm asking them to pay for that, so you don't have to worry about it. The thing is with that, you still have to pay something. The warranty works as if, let's just say your refrigerator, washer, and dryer goes out. You have to call the home warranty, they come out, they're gonna charge you the service fee. The contract is paid, but you're gonna have to pay the service fee each time they come out. Usually the service fee is between $65 to $80, somewhere between each time they come out. You get a good home warranty. Sometimes they can replace that home warranty with just that service fee charge. Any questions on that? Make sure this is not your home insurance. Your homeowner's insurance, try to look at it like this. Home warranty covers the things on the inside. Homeowner's insurance covers the outside. We're in a waiting period. The lender is asking for more paperwork. I'm sitting here and I want all the smoke because listen, I'm trying to get you to the finish line. Y'all can start paying for the movers. The sellers can start packing up their house. They are ready. They're gonna get this big old check. Hey, I'm stopping anybody that coming your way. Baby, you say you want this house, I'm gonna fight for it. Now we're at the final walkthrough. Typically, the final walkthrough is completed after the seller has moved out in about 24 hours prior to closing. So if we're closing on a Monday, we're going over that Sunday. We're gonna make sure that the house is clean, like they said, because on the contract, I'm telling them I want it professionally clean. Y'all don't have to go in on their journey. I'm gonna ask them to have it professionally cleaned. And when I do ask for them to do repairs or to clean something like that, I also ask for the receipts. You can't just tell me. So we're gonna do the walkthrough. This is designed to be a final chance for you to ensure the home is delivered in the condition you expected before you sign off at closing. Make sure that they put a hole in the wall while they was trying to move. The movers didn't put a hole in the wall or anything like that. Had a few issues with final walkthroughs. Did a final walkthrough, there was no stove. The sellers took the stove, and I just politely sent a text because I'm gonna make sure it's in writing. Y'all have about 5 o'clock close of business today to have that stove there. Or you're gonna be in theft. It's a theft at that point because it belongs to the house. You cannot take the stove. We had another one. The movers actually did put a hole in the wall when they was moving some furniture. Yeah, I need that done before we actually put pen to paper and before we actually close. Because they're gonna say, they're gonna tell you, well, we'll do it as soon as we close, we're gonna go to closing real quick. No, because once they close, it's yours. And they have no liability, they don't have to do anything. Now we sign on the dotted line. Time for signatures, pictures, and having fun while we do it. Listen, okay, only reason I put this picture of me up here is because I want y'all to know, hey, I'm doing the same thing. That was just last year. I sold a property that I had. It was some land that I had. Held on to it for like 5 years and tripling in value while I'm getting sold. But these are some of my clients. We just want to have fun, y'all. This is a great day. Let me go back. Listen. All right, I know this is a home buyer's event, but I'm gonna just give y'all just about 3 or 4 slides on the selling process. 10 things to do when you're selling your home. 1, call me and I'll handle the other 9. That's it, that's all. I got everything together, just call me, boo. I'm gonna get everything scheduled, tell you all what you need to do, and I'm gonna have you ready to go. This is how everybody sees their home, okay? But the house down the street sold for way more than your suggested listing price. Well, that's your home, and that's the house down the street. And I'm gonna look at you just like this, like, that ain't how they work. Because we're gonna look at when it was built, if they did the upgrades, everything like that. God, there's things to the price. Zillow said my house was worth $400K. Nah, we want dead. Zillow is a zestimate. Listen, they are computer generated. They do not go and put eyes on these houses. We do. I'm gonna go out there and see. Pictures lie also. Houses look real good online. Actually go into them, they're gonna look totally different. Not all the time, but majority of the time. So Zillow can't tell you how much their house is worth. They're not going out there and putting eyes on these houses. This is just a resource page. Anyone that go to the city of Plano, they got first-time home buyers programs. Any information you want to know about the crime of the city or crime of the neighborhood that you're looking to buy in, you can go to these resource pages. And who is the most awesome client I see in my picture? You are. Y'all ready to buy this year? Well, listen, we got goals this year that we're gonna achieve. So here's my information. You can call me, email me with any questions or any information that you may need. If you have any further questions on this, you're more than welcome to give me a call, because I am your home girl. I believe in making lifetime relationships, not just one-time transactions. Listen, my clients really do become my friends, y'all. Like, that's why I'm single. If I get married again, listen, this is gonna be a big old wedding, because like, I still talk to my clients. I still want you to know I'm still here, because you're still gonna have questions. People gonna send y'all stuff in the mail, be like, you need to do this, and they still call me all the time. Do I need to do this? No, I said, read right at the bottom and say not affiliated with your loan or something like that. But do not be like the client that called me at 12 o'clock. This client called me at 12 o'clock in the morning, and she was screaming because there was a snake in her house. I said, it wasn't there when I sold it to you, so you better call the police. Next time you do it, just stop. I'm sorry, I'll bring you some more bottles. I don't know what else to do for you, because but any questions you may have, you're more than welcome to call me. This is my information. That QR code goes to my virtual card, business card. And the home buyer's guide. So everything that I pretty much talked about today was condensed. If you scan these, I have them on all the tables. You can scan this and get that whole guide. It's like 36 pages. Also for my sellers, that same QR code, if you want to sell your home, it's like 42 pages for the sellers. And it takes you to my website, and you literally go straight to the link and download it. You have it on your phone to always reference. Like I said, this is a lot of information. And I just want to know, do y'all have any questions? Oh, I was that good? Really? I covered everything? Y'all have no questions for me?
That ain't true, they're waiting on the pizza.
Okay. Well, keep quiet, want to go eat pizza. Thank y'all, I
Give it up
appreciate
for
it.
pizza. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a few moments, bathroom break, pizza break. I think, yeah, we do have plates back there and napkins, so, yeah, pizza time, and we'll reconvene in about 15 minutes. Well, thank you for the food, in Jesus' name, amen. That was good, man. I wasn't expecting anything else. Okay. Cool. Make sure I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I got you. Sure, I'll get to the fast now. All right, cool. What's going on, presentation? There you go. I just looked at some parking as soon as yeah, we're gonna see my truck back there. It'll be over the side door. Around the back.
I didn't know
I just say thank
Yes, sir.
Remember your old friends from here. My dad take care of you.
And I'm ready. So that's
Yes, thank you. Girl. Listen, I'm about to send you.
That's a joke. You don't let her come out the house like that.
So it says this. Leah said,
Just the commission.
Okay. I say Rusty, keep your hand out. She's happy with it. They actually.
So, this is not just kids.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but I'm kicking the last one.
All right, how's the gourmet pizza, everyone? Good, make a few more dollars in a little season, we just don't forget about it. Never forget where I come from. Right, Bishop? Always, so appreciate everybody hanging through with us. A lot of good information. I hope y'all been taking notes and asking questions, and hope you leave here better informed, better educated than where you came. So, this last session is, all of them, this last one is one personally interested in most, and it's the investment in that back left table. I love y'all. Yeah. So, this next one is Miss Hillary Houston. She is the investor extraordinaire, and a lot of experience in that game. So, again, the pamphlets that are on the table, it has everybody's contact information. You've got notepads for the late comments. I didn't mean that in the day. But if you want to take notes with that, so I'm going to turn it over to Hillary. Let her do she.
Hopefully you all are cool. You feeling good? All right, thank y'all for just hanging in there with us. We're in the home stretch. So lots of good information that's been shared today. I mean, from what the market's looking like right now to your credit profile to, start to finish, full circle on how to buy your first property, how to buy your house. Lots of good information has been shared today. So thank you to all of the speakers. And I know earlier we talked about, we had a show of hands of folks who are homeowners, right? Homeowners in the room. Do we have any investors in the room? Any investors? Okay, we got a few. So hopefully what I shared today is definitely going to be helpful for you in your real estate investing journey. I can remember, 20 years ago, I was literally sitting where you are today, right? I was sitting in a new home buyers seminar and learning about, buying my first house, learning a little bit about real estate investing. And, I said, I want to do it. I want to buy my first house. I met a real estate agent that was on fire. She really helped me to navigate the entire process of buying my first house. She had the same, high energy personality as Deb, right? And so she took me through that whole process. I was like, wow, this is really easy. It was really easy. And I'm like, I want to get into real estate myself. And so I quickly got my real estate license. I stood up my business, Virtual City Real Estate, and, started, helping everybody I knew buy a house. And so that really started my passion and my fire for getting into real estate. And so fast forward 20 years now, I've been in real estate for 20 years, Virtual City Real Estate, and I sold millions of inventory in new houses, helped hundreds of clients, and just really helped them to capture that dream of home ownership. And so recently, probably in 2020, I made a pivot, still in real estate, but I made a pivot into investing and wholesaling and getting into fix and flip. And that's really, really been a game changer for me. And so I'm going to share a little bit about my journey in that process with you today. And so for the time that I'm here with you, we're going to talk about several strategies that I have deployed and have worked for me. Now, there are lots of real estate investing strategies that people, do that works for them, but I've never been afraid to just, step out on a limb and try something new. And so these strategies have worked for me, okay? So a show of hands. Did y'all see that house up there? All right. Look at this house. How many of you all have, driving around the city, driving around in various areas, seen a house like this and just kept on driving? You just keep on driving. You're like, oh, that's just a boarded up house, right? Okay. Well, next time you do that, next time you see a house like this, I want you to stop. I want you to take a picture of that house. I want you to write down the address, and I want you to send it to me. Okay, that's what I want you to do. I want you to send it to me. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say, hey, thank you so much for sending me that property. I'm gonna take this house, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna research it, I'm gonna find the owner, and when I close the deal, I'm gonna pay you $1,000 for sending me the house. That's bird dogging, y'all. That's bird dogging. Took you all of maybe 10, 15 minutes to stop, take a picture, write down the address, and send me that property, right? You would get paid in 30 days or less with bird dogging. That's something y'all can go and leave here and go drive around Dallas and find houses like this and right now, right?
Yeah.
That's a side hustle. Has anybody ever heard of bird dogging before?
Do you?
You don't even have to have a real estate license to do this. You don't have to have a real estate license to do this. And you can start making money literally over the weekend, right? And so after that process, you're gonna contact me. I'll be the wholesaler. I'm part beyond the plug, right? So you're gonna send this property to the plug. I'm gonna reach out to the seller, the owner, and negotiate a offer on the property, right? I'll say, hey, I see that your house is boarded up. Are you gonna do anything with it? It's just been sitting, right? Based upon my research, it's been sitting for years. Are you gonna do anything with it? They're like, oh no. It may be tied up in family heirs. It may be, just sitting and no, I don't want to do anything with it. I'm going to negotiate an offer to buy that property for $50,000. And this was my first wholesale deal. I did this house back in 2020. This is my first one. But I negotiated a price for $50,000. And then once I got it under contract, I turned around and I marketed that paper. It's literally called flipping paper. I marketed that paper and flipped it over to an end cash buyer for $60,000, right? And so in this case, when I closed the deal within 30 days, the assignment fee, which was $10,000, right? The person who sent me this property got their $1,000 fee for finding it, and then I walked away with a $9,000 assignment fee. Just like that. And it literally creates a win-win situation for everyone. The seller, the owner who owned the house, it's just been sitting. They made the money that they wanted to make, right? I made my money from signing the contract. And the end buyer, which was the cash buyer, they got a good deal on a property at $60,000 that had equity in it once they put, the money in it to rehab the property and get it to this condition that it's in today. Does that sound doable? Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, literally, you're the plug. You're the middleman. You're the plug as the wholesaler. And so these deals, again, you don't have to have a real estate license to do, but you have to spend the time, right? You have to spend the time doing the research. As a wholesaler, one of the first things that you'll want to do is spend the time building up your network of end buyers, those cash buyers, right? And so you can find a lot of those cash buyers in Facebook groups, online. There are different websites and applications that you can buy. One of them is PropStream. If any of you have ever heard of PropStream, that's a tool that I use where you can research cash buyers, right? You literally put in a zip code and it will tell you all of the cash buyers that are buying in a particular area. It will give you their phone numbers, it will give you their email addresses, it will give you everything. But that's one of the first things you'll want to do because time is of the essence. So when you're in wholesaling, these deals go pretty quickly, right? 2 to 3 weeks, we're getting them locked in under contract, and the next week they're being sold. So you really have to have your pool or your network of cash-in buyers ready to get those properties over to them once you get them locked in under contract. This I made probably about $400,000 in the past couple of years just by wholesaling, because you just rinse and repeat. It's so fast. It's rinse and repeat. Now, there are some things that, challenges that you may come across with regards to the title of the house. You know, it could be tied up with heirs, right? You know, mama died, somebody died, right? And the siblings can't get along. You know, somebody wants to sell. You got the other ones that don't want to sell. And they think you have to go through probate to figure everything out. You got to go through the court systems. You don't have to do that. You literally don't have to do that. It is literally getting an heirship of affidavit form, getting that filled out and signed by everyone. And once you come to them and you say, hey, you know, I want to pay this amount for this property, all they looking at is how much they gonna get, right? That's all they're looking at. What's my cut? How much am I gonna get, right? And so we negotiate all of that. We work all of those kinks out. We get that heirship of affidavit signed and filed and everything. And we're off to go close, literally. And when we close, the heirs, they get their money dispersed immediately, you know, and everybody gets paid. The end buyer, cash buyer, funds the entire deal. Okay? Literally nobody, just time. It's time. It takes time to do these type of things, right? What I started to do, the more deals I started to close, right, I would, you know, build up my savings, and I was able to leverage that money and buying and more properties, right, and really extending my real estate journey. The next strategy that I've used is tax lien auctions. Anybody ever heard of tax liens? Okay, we got some tax liens, right? It's a fairly simple process as well, but you do have to have the cash to buy the properties. You have to have the cash, and in Texas, you know, it's you looking at 50 to 75,000 that you have to have in order to buy these properties. And so for me, I'm like, I don't want to pay that much on a tax lien. I would rather go to a different state. And so I participated in tax lien auctions in Memphis, Tennessee, Louisiana, Indianapolis, anywhere where I can get in at a good price point, right? Typically, I don't want to spend over about 10 to 15,000 on a tax lien sale. But I know in I think it's Alabama, you can get them for like $1,000. You can get them really, really cheap in Alabama. You know, she's shaking her head. Yeah, like you can get them really cheap in Alabama. So, but I haven't tried that market. But I like this. I like this strategy because either way it goes, you're gonna win. You're gonna win. You're gonna get money, right? First thing you'll want to do is register for the auction online and just research the process. Some of these entities want you to wire the money ahead of time and have it sitting in reserve. And so if you have to do that, you know, you got to do that beforehand so that when the auction opens, you already have the money there with the local tax authority in their account so that they can just quickly, you know, close the deal. Do your due diligence. That involves, you know, going to do as much research as you can about the property, figuring out if it is it occupied, is it not occupied, you know, what does it look like? This house, y'all, I didn't even go look at this house. I looked at it on Google. I looked at it on Google, you know, it had the bird view and everything. And so as I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, you know, I'll just take a risk. I'm like, well, does somebody live there? I didn't even know if anybody lived there or not. But anyway, I bid on it anyway, and I won the bid at $5,500. I was so excited. So then I was like, well, what do I do? What do I do? So I had to wait. So one thing with tax liens is that most of them have a redemption period. And so that redemption period, it could be anywhere from 2 years or 3 years. It's different depending on the tax authority. And so this one was 2 years. So I literally had to wait for 2 years because what that time is doing is giving the owner time to pay it back, right? So they don't lose their house. And if they pay it back, they have to pay it back with interest. So either way it goes, if they do pay it back, I'm gonna get my money back that I invested plus a little interest, right? Well, in this case, the owner had passed away. The owner passed away. I later figured this out after the fact. The owner passed away. He didn't have any heirs or anything. And so the house, literally, I just had to sit it out and wait it out. After that 2 years passed, and mind you, during that time, I still had to pay the yearly taxes. So I paid the 55 was to pay for the old taxes, right, that was behind. and I still had to pay for those next 2 years to keep it current so that it doesn't go behind. So I did that. I'm waiting. After the 2 years expired, I had to do a little bit of legal process, but I got the deed to the house. So now the house is mine, literally, for that amount. And so I said, well, I'm just gonna take a trip up there and really see what it looked like. I gotta lay eyes on it. So when I went up there, these are the pictures from when I went to actually see it in person. And oh my gosh, it was a hot mess. I met the neighbor next door. The neighbor said, oh, you know, he died and and y'all, they found dog skeleton remains in the yard. It was just a mess. So anyways, I was like, yeah, I'm not fixing this up. I'm not doing anything with this. And so I literally got some of the debris and all that kind of removed from the front, and there was some stuff on the inside, got it cleared out, and I put it back on the market and sold it for $20,000.
So the trash out and the cleanup gave it more value?
Well, it made it more appealing so that whoever wanted to buy it didn't have to do that, right? Of course, an investor bought it. This house was, I don't know if y'all familiar with Memphis, but it was not too far from Beale Street in the entertainment district. And so, you know, they have a lot of pockets where they're doing like Airbnb and all that kind of good stuff. And so it was appealing to an investor. And so with it being cleaned out, and it sold like, probably, I put it on the market and it was under contract within a week. Literally.
So, can you talk about the online auction process? Were you up against a lot of potential buyers, or was it not a lot of people?
It wasn't a lot.
Really?
It wasn't a lot of buyers, no. And that's the good thing is because you can see how many, you know, if it's 5 people, 10 people, whatever. I want to say this maybe had like 3 other bidders, but it didn't have a lot of bidders on this one. But that really should have been an indicator to me, like, this might not be such a hot property. But I went for it anyway.
And last question, do you typically get in touch with local agents or someone in the tribe?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, the agent who sold this house for me, I found her on Craigslist and made contact, and she got it listed for me. So that is definitely a lucrative strategy. And so I've used those strategies really to you know, build up my reserve, my savings, so that I could, you know, do bigger deals. You always want to do bigger deals, right? And so that then took me in the direction of fix and flip. So fix and flip, you know, this is something that is popular. It's made popular by HGTV. You know, everybody's excited. You know, it looks good. But you got to have a stomach for this, y'all. This is all some different stuff. You gotta have a stomach for this. So this is a house that I literally just finished, and it's in Arlington. I bought it, and when I walked in, like you couldn't even breathe. The stench of the smell of the house was just so bad. Like I don't know what something died in the house or what, I don't know, but it was just horrible. But I saw the potential in the house. Saw the potential. I'm like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do all these things, right? And so, as you see here, you know, it's kind of closed off. You've got the walls up, and the kitchen is old, the bathroom needs to be remodeled, all these kind of things. But I saw the potential in it, and I started working on it. Literally gutted it to the studs. One of the things when you're getting into the fix and flip, you want to make sure that you know, you always want to buy as low as possible as you can. And so, because that's where your profits are made when you acquire these properties at pennies on the dollar. And so in Arlington, this is near the entertainment district, near AT&T Stadium, Globe Life, and all of that. I'm like, okay, you know, this is a pretty good deal. And it was until all these extra repairs started popping up. It wasn't in my budget. Wasn't in my budget. So as you see here on the bottom screen, literally the house was gutted. We had already put in new sheetrock and all that kind of stuff. We had made a lot of progress, and then discovered that all of the plumbing needed to be replaced. It was all cast iron plumbing. There was all kinds of clogs in the plumbing. There was this huge tree right here had grown roots under the house and had impacted the plumbing, and also started the foundation to shift. That literally put like $15,000 on top of my budget that I really hadn't planned for. So I was sick. I was like, oh my gosh. So, but you know, in this, like I said, you gotta have the stomach for it and you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep moving to get the project finished. And so, as a result, here we have the new pretty open, house where, we took the walls out, everything is light and bright, new flooring, everything, literally new windows, everything. You can still see the stickers on the windows here. And so, this project has definitely been a labor of love. But what you do when you're fixing and flipping, the thought is that you really want to, have several projects going on at the same time. If you have, enough trades and a crew and all that, is where you can manage it so you can get through these properties pretty quickly. But I mean, I'm the type where, the stair rail right there, it was just installed when these pictures were taken, but I like painting and I like doing stuff. And so I went back and I did all the staining of the handrails myself and other things I stained in the house and, just trying to put my own little touch on it just because I like to do those type of things. So with this, the ARV is 330 based on the comps in the neighborhood. And then once I sell, actually this is just getting ready to go on the market this week. I'm hoping to get a $70,000 profit on this one. So that is the plan.
How long did it take?
Oh, I initially planned for 2 to 3 months, and now about 6 months in. Yeah, it was long. Going through the holidays, the contractors, the trades, they take their time. Then with the foundation, I had to get the foundation adjusted twice. The windows threw me for a loop because it took 6 weeks for the windows to come in. I wasn't planning for that. So there's always some kind of, anomaly or something thrown out there that could kind of, redirect you or whatever, but, you have to get back on path to do this. And so also with these projects, I do leverage hard money lending. As Terrence and some of the other ones said, don't use your own money. I leverage hard money lending. The money that I saved from the other deals was so that I could pay like the closing costs and down payments for the hard money, because you always gotta do that, right? Because the hard money lender, they want you to put down 10%, 15%, depending on what kind of program they have. So you still have to have money for that. But for the bulk of it, I use hard money lending, and then they also fund you the money to make the repairs as well. Okay, and when you're going through these, you use hard money lending. You have to front the bill for your first set of repairs. So like if my first milestone is about $25,000 in, I have to front that myself, and then the hard money lender comes back and reimburses me that money. Okay, so.
Hey, question, so I see you put the money in this, in the bathroom, the kitchen. Is that your mindset for most of them, where you want to go and do the most work, or? Well,
typically, I literally just want to put lipstick on a pig, if that makes sense. That's like, I really do. That's basic cosmetic stuff, new flooring, new paint, new cabinets, new countertops, the cosmetic stuff. I don't want to get into the major repairs. The major repairs just like, roof, HVAC, all that kind of stuff. And so this one, when I started, at first I thought it was just a light cosmetic flip. And, as I progressed through it, of course, things just got, worse. Things just got worse. It got major with the plumbing. Yes, it got major with the two major things was the plumbing and the foundation. Foundation, I've done that several times. That wasn't a big deal. But the plumbing, that was the first time I ever had to experience taking out all the cast iron plumbing out of the house. And so that took a while.
So is that what made you go further to try to recoup that money? Because this looks extensive. Maybe it's just.
Yes, well, two things. That did make me go further because I'm like, I gotta finish it. But right across the street from this house was another house that was being renovated at the same time by someone else. And they had went all out. with theirs. I'm like, I can't let them outdo me. So then I had to step my game up as well, because I honestly, I wasn't intending to do the new, that outside paneling with the white paneling. That wasn't in the plan either. Because if you'll see on the previous slide, it was like yellow and it was horizontal. I was just gonna paint that white. I was just gonna paint it. I'm like, oh, we can use it. I don't have to replace it. But once I saw the person across the street, you know, doing that house, and they went all out. I was like, oh, I can't let them outdo me. So I went a little bit farther than what I wanted to with this one. So, but yeah, that's fix and flip there. And so, gosh, that really gave me a new appreciation for real estate investing, and then it also really made me focus on new construction. New construction. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to take on anybody's problems anymore. And so I went down the path of new construction. But one thing I want to share with you is the BRRRR process in real estate. Because one of the things when you get into these deals, you have to know your exit strategy, right? You got to know, okay, am I going to fix it, flip it, and put it back on the market? Or am I going to do the BRRRR process? And those are for people who want to build their portfolio and hold these properties as rentals, then they will keep them. And so here is explained, if I use the same house that I just flipped in Arlington, so I bought it, I renovated it, and now if I do the BRRRR process, I will rent it out, right? And so this house will rent for like about $2,500 on a traditional monthly rental or rent for about $2,500. And once I get a renter in there, I can refinance it and take that equity out, the money that I put in, take that equity out of the house, and then go buy another house and just rinse and repeat and do the same process over and over and over. This is a method that people like because it also impacts tax strategies, because you cannot tax debt, right? So when you do a refinance and you pull money out, that's technically debt, right? And you can't pay taxes on debt. And so people like that strategy. Any questions about that? No? Okay. But I'm not gonna burn. I'm not doing that. It's getting sold. A few things to keep in mind when going down the path of fix and flip is that you always want to have a buy box, and that buy box is your list of criteria that you are going to stay within when buying these properties, right? And so in your buy box, things like location. That's one thing where, you want to make sure, like, if my budget, let's just say my budget is $200,000, then I got to be in a location that will accommodate that budget. I can't have a $200,000 budget looking in South Lake or looking in these other areas that I can't afford. So you got to stay within your specific area. You have to have your property type that you want to focus on, whether it's single family, whether it's multifamily, whatever it is. Have your specific property type identified. Have your price range identified as well. Know your budget. Know the property condition. I mean, some people, I prefer light fix and flip projects. The lipstick on a pig. Short and sweet, keep it simple, but some like to have those major renovation projects because you can actually negotiate those a little bit more. You can probably get them at a cheaper price just because they need so much work, right? That's an appetite for an investor, that they like those. I really don't like those. And then your size and the features that you're looking for in a property. So you want to make sure that all of that is within your buy box. When thinking of size and features, things like only buying brick homes versus buying homes that have paneling. Brick homes generate probably a higher return than the panel homes, and so that may be something in your buy box. But as these properties are coming across, we get these. You can get them in the MLS from your realtor, like Debbie. I'm a realtor, so I have access to all this information. I also work with a lot of wholesalers, right? That process that I explained on the front end. I'm connected with the wholesalers. They send me properties. So this property in Arlington, I got it from a wholesaler. But in doing that, you tell that network what your buy box is. So then they send you those type of properties. So they know, okay, hey, Hillary only wants these kind of properties. this is what I'm gonna send Hillary, right? So you have to be really firm on your bylaws. And then also, the profits are made at the front of the deal, literally, front of the deal. The more you negotiate the price down on the front end, that's gonna impact how much profits you make on the back end at the end, right? So my rule of thumb, I never wanna go over 70% max of ARV all in. So that means acquiring the property, fixing it up, everything. I do not wanna exceed that 70% of ARV. And so in this case for Arlington, I did go over, I did. I think, let me think, all in, I'm gonna be all in at around, gosh, I think it's like 260, all in. And ARV is 330, so, but the 70% would have been around 230, if that makes sense. So I did go over a little bit, but it's okay. I feel like I'll recoup that once I, sell it and put it back on the market. It's all good. But you just want to make sure you don't get too high, because if you, get a property and, it's at 80% or 85% of the ARV, then there's really no skin in the game. You don't really have enough room in there to make money on it, right? Any questions? No, y'all good? Okay, all right. I know all of y'all know, especially with those boarded up houses, y'all be looking for those boarded up houses this weekend. I know. All right, so, but this can be a new appreciation for new construction. Oh my gosh. New construction, that's my jam right now. That's my jam, that's what I'm doing right now, just because I don't wanna, really, I don't wanna take on these major problems with the fix and flips. Now, I will still do those easy cosmetic fix and flips that I know I can get in and out, but my focus is new construction real estate. And so you'll see here, a project here that is just about finished, where I acquired in Dallas. This is in West Dallas, and 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage. The lot cost $110, and my build budget was $215. And the after construction value is going to be around $439. So I'm going to make about $114,000 on this deal. New construction it's different. It does take a little bit longer, typically. It takes about 4 months to build. It's kind of what we budget is like 4 months, and then 30 to 60 days to get it on the market and then get it sold. So overall, about a 6-month turnaround for new construction. One of the things with this though is that you have to have a strong list of trades or contractors, right? Because you don't want to get into new construction and you got to pay Home Depot and Lowe's prices. That's going to eat into your budget. You don't want to pay those prices. You want to get to the distributor or to the direct source for building this, especially with concrete. The cost of concrete is going up. The cost of wood is always increasing with the framework and everything like that. So you don't want to have to be at these retail places, right, buying these things to buy the house. Now, a few things retail I will do, which is like my finish outs, like my floors. I'll go to Floor and Decor to get some stuff because I just really like how they have different options with the countertops and things like that. And so, but you build credit lines, you build trade lines with these companies. And so, back to Terrence's point, you have to have good credit, right? Because even though I have my business credit and my business entity and all that established, they still sometimes want a personal guarantee. And so when that comes into play, you have to have strong credit as well. Okay? Credit is key. I'm telling you, that credit is a game changer because that is literally your financial brand reputation is having good credit. So thankfully, I've been a good steward of that, and I've been able to leverage my credit to get this far. So that is new construction. Now, you may have some of y'all like, Hillary, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to drive around. I don't want to go look at houses. I don't want to have to fix anything. I just want to give you my money, let it sit, let it make money babies, right? Any of y'all listen to Myron Golden? He always talks about making money babies, right? Let your money make money for you. And so I have an opportunity for you to make money babies. And so, but what that means is, literally passively, you can serve as a passive investor, right? You may have money sitting in an IRA, a 401k, or high yield savings account, And those accounts are only making about 5%, literally 5%. And to get that 5%, they want you to have, 50,000 to 100 in savings to get that 5%. What if you could do that through investing in new construction real estate? Taking that route, you could get anywhere between 18 to 22% on your money based on investing in new construction real estate, right? And that turnaround on that is anywhere from 6 to 12 months. To me, that's like a no-brainer. Like if I can, looking at this chart, if I can literally triple my money through investing in real estate, that's a no-brainer. I don't have to do anything but give the builder my funds, let them build a house. Once they build a house and sell the house, then I'm gonna get my return after that. Make sense? Very easy, but again, real estate, it's all about what your appetite is, what you have the stomach for. I personally, like I said, I started out in wholesaling, but as a realtor, I just like driving around, looking at different areas. I like driving around looking for boarded up homes. Like I literally do it from time to time. Go to South Dallas, go to West Dallas, and just drive around. And I'll have my notepad with me, and I'll just write down addresses and take pictures. It's so simple, but you have to make the time for it. But this is an opportunity here where you can serve as a passive lender as well. And if any of you are interested in that, definitely reach out to me because I do have opportunities that you can invest in for that as well in new construction.
Hey, question, so what's the minimum you typically take?
And this is 50,000.
50, okay.
Yeah, 50,000. And it's just because you want serious partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want serious partners, and that really helps to get you to that level where you need to invest in. And so for a particular deal, I'll have about 2 investors on a deal, because within new construction, I'm building at an affordable price point between, $350,000 to $400,000 mid-fours. And so in new construction, you typically need to have about $100,000 in reserves to get the process going. Literally, and that's to acquire the land and to get through your first draw or through your first phase of construction, which is site planning, getting the site ready, pouring the foundation, doing the framing and all that. Once you get through the framing stage, then you'll do your first draw, and then the lender will recoup and reimburse you the rest. Yeah. Okay. I know that was a lot. I know that was a lot in a short amount of time. Do you have any questions or anything?
So if I give you $50,000, in about 12 months, you're gonna have that triple.
Yeah, so looking at this chart, so at 50,000, that return rate is at 18%, right? And so it is on a 12-month APR term. And so if it's taking 6 months to build a house and get it sold, within those 6 months, I'm gonna turn that over and I'm gonna give you half of that 9,000, which is 4,500, right? 4,500. We're gonna reinvest that 50,000 in the next project. We're gonna take another 6 months, so now you're at 12 months, and you get the other 4,500. So you're at 9,000. Yeah. Pretty straightforward there. Yes, ma'am.
So do you ever buy and hold, or do you don't like to do that?
I don't really like to do that. I have. So one strategy that I put up here that I didn't share was short-term rentals. And so that's your Airbnb, your VRBO, all of that. I wanted to try it. It was popular. It was popping in, the 2020, 2021. Everybody's like, get short-term rental, get short. And it's still very popular today. They put a lot of rules and regulations around it. The cities, the different cities put regulations around areas that will allow short-term rentals. And so that really hurt the market here in Dallas. I know in the Frisco area, you can't even do short-term rentals on single-family residence homes anymore. You're not supposed to. Some still do, but you're not supposed to. But I was in that for a little while where I did have properties. I had 2 properties, and so I was holding them. I was holding them and using short-term rentals, and it was profitable, but it was also a headache. And so, dealing with people, tenants, whether it's short-term or long-term, you still have to deal with people, and it was a little bit more of a risk that I didn't want to really continue doing. Yeah.
So you mentioned Alabama. Are there other, like another 2 or 3 markets that you're thinking about getting in?
Detroit.
Detroit, you said
Yeah,
that.
Detroit, right here. Detroit. Well, and so I mentioned Alabama. That was specifically for the tax lien sale, just because I know you can get them really, really cheap there. But I do know like people are going into that market. They're getting the tax liens. I believe also Alabama is a state where you don't have to wait for the redemption period of time.
Okay.
Like you get that tax lien sale and like you get the deed right then as well, free and clear.
Mhm.
I don't have a team there of contractors to do the work.
Right.
So that's why I'm not in that state. Detroit is another state. They have a lot of, they have the land bank where you can literally go buy houses for $1,000, $1,500. You buy the house. But again, you have to have that team established of contractors to be able to do that work. And so that takes some time.
Yeah.
So, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Because I went to Detroit in December and I'm feeling Detroit. And my man here from Detroit, he know about Detroit too. So there's a lot of opportunity there. They have a lot of businesses and large companies that have recently started reinvesting in Detroit to bring that market back. And so it's kind of hush hush right now. But you know, over time, people are going to really start to look at Detroit as a new, you know, hot market.
Yeah. And
the prices are going to go up.
Okay.
So, yeah. How to contact with me, how to stay in contact with me. I know I talked about a lot. You know, thank y'all for listening. Thank you for your time. And, you know, if you want to chat, if you want to talk more about your real estate investing journey, learn more about how to get into it, scan the QR code, set up time to talk with me, and I can, you know, help you out. I do consult directly one-on-one. You can also follow me on all the social media channels at Hillary the Home Builder and follow my journey and see what I'm doing. All right?
That's good.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, thank you. All right, so I know we had set time for a panel, but unless the panelists, presenters think we need it, I think we can bypass that. What do y'all three think? I want to do the panel. Anybody have any other questions that y'all like to get addressed before we close this out?
Clear?
Okay.
I just want to know who is going, because I want to get some pictures and some of the board of houses. I need y'all to see some, so
Y'all go get that $1,000. What's it called, bird dogging?
It's called bird dogging, yeah. Y'all want mine, don't you? Yeah. Another thing I didn't mention, in the thought of bird dogging and wholesaling, you know, think about, as you get into this path of real estate, let everyone know what you're doing, right? Your friends, your family members, your coworkers, let them know what you're doing. Because what's going to happen is once they see you get into real estate, they see you, you know, investing, fixing and flip, or doing wholesaling, they're going to start to come to you, right? As that trusted advisor. And what I found was really, I don't know a lot of marketing other than social media. I'm just doing the free stuff, right? But I built up a strong network of referrals, right? And people who know me. And so what happens is that I'll have someone reach out and say, hey, Hillary, you know, I had a family member pass away and they don't know what to do with the house. Can you help us, right? So I say that to say, stay connected with your friends, your family, because they will come to you for advice, right? They may say, hey, you know, I'm facing a foreclosure. I don't know what to do. We can step in and purchase that property. They get some money. They avoid foreclosure, right? They still have their dignity. They make money on the end. They still have their credit. They don't have a foreclosure on their credit. You know what I'm saying? But we're able to provide solutions for them. We're able to provide solutions. One of the strategies I also use is, you know, foreclosures happen, you know, the first Tuesday of every month, right? So middle of the month, we get the foreclosure list. We get the foreclosure list, and we'll literally go knock on doors and talk to people and say, hey, have you exhausted all your options before foreclosing? And at that point, they're so, you know, depressed, and they don't know what they're going to do. And we literally pick up those deals as wholesale deals, literally, because they don't want to lose the house, and we know how to navigate the banking system to provide letters, to provide contracts, to give them a little bit more time, right, so that we can come in and buy the house. They can move, they can, make, when you're foreclosing, like, the bank is only foreclosing on the amount that's due, right? That house don't have a whole lot of equity in it, literally, right? And so we're able to, give them cash out like 20,000. So I did that with the family early this year. I gave them some money, because the house was about to go to foreclosure. I got it, I still got a good deal, really good deal, but I was able to give them like 20,000, and they split it up between themselves. They were good. They really didn't care about the house, they was good, they just wanted to play. So serve as someone who can provide solutions for those, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look at it from the financial strategy as well.
As we always say, we work hard in our community. I'm trying to get us away from that mindset that we got to put in 80, 90, 120 hours a week and then boast about it like this, like it's a flex, right? We know how to make money. The thing is, what are we going to do with it? And most importantly, we're going to keep it. So let's get these strategies. I got several agents in here, 3 brokers, the lady here in the business, and the lenders. The information is on the flyers that's on each table. Take them with you and reach out to them if you got any questions. Other than that, we appreciate everybody's time. Still got pizza and cookies back there, and in about 30 minutes, we got my man Mo Thompson over here. We're going to do his book signing event. So it's going to be a social event, hangout, and listen to his story about his journey and how he became a widower and how he overcame the hardship with that piece. So if you don't mind, hang around and celebrate this moment as well. So thank you again for coming, and we'll see you again. Right, Superman, we'll do this again in a few months. Superman, Vision, 5, 3, 400.
Alright, hold it on.
Thank you so much for joining our conference today, The Power of Real Estate. Appreciate you, and we know that you're gonna, next year when we do this again, you're gonna have a property. All right, thank you. I'm just asking you, I'm just gonna ask you, You don't have to say a whole lot. Did you know, Rob? But I think she got
That were 2 years? About 2 or 3 years? About 2 years. It's gotta be like a 3 years.